Contact fire, we can't be denied. Every rougher plays with fearless pride. There is only one Ruffers, the name that will never fall. There is nothing tougher than a rougher dog. We will rise above them all. Go big green. In the Ruffer village, we make this crew with the best. Village strong, proud and mean. Land with convicts, don't plays with fearless. Go big green. O-M-O-U-G-E-G-R-S. This crew with the best. Village strong, proud and mean. Ruffers forever, go big green. There is only one Ruffers, forever proud, forever true. There is nothing tougher than a rougher dog, and the village will carry us through. Go big green. Go big green.
Tonight, here at Collins Field in Sapulpa, the Muskogee Ruffers and the Chieftains of Sapulpa High School will battle for perhaps a guaranteed first-round playoff bye and the opportunity to play in front of their home crowd in what would be Week 2 of the 6A2 football playoffs. Hi, everybody. Bill Huddleston along with Nick Hampton. Tonight here for the Muskogee Ruffers, it's time to bounce back after last week's loss to St. The Ruffers come in tonight against Sapulpa, like last week, against another team, Nick, that has yet to lose in district play, as Tim Holt's squad has put together a 5-0 mark after starting the season at 1-2.
Well, this team is a good team. I don't think they're on the caliber of Sand Springs, but they're a very good opponent, and it will be an interesting test tonight for the Ruffers. Can they bounce back? I think that's the question. We talked to some of the players during the course of the week, and it was kind of a deal where, we put a lot of effort and preparation into getting ready for Sand Springs, and, yeah, it was disappointing, but we know what's on the line this week, and I think everyone I talked to really has bounced back and understands the meaning and gravity of tonight's game as far as the playoff picture is concerned.
It's the 71st meeting between Sapulpa and Muskogee. The Chieftains' last victory came in 2018, an exciting overtime 49-48 win by blocking a PAT. Let's hope it doesn't come down to that type of emotion, and the Ruffers can get on the big green bus and head back home knowing that they've got an opportunity to finish second in the district at worst in the postseason. We're going to continue our pregame countdown to kickoff, and when we come back, one of the guys that has come of age of late and been a part of the Ruffers ground game, he wears the number 5, Marquise Chaplin. He'll be our Get to Know Ruffer guest of the week, but first this time out on Ruffer Football 2025.
Folks, Kyle Edwards, GMC in Muskogee. I was born and raised in Muskogee. Our family has owned the GMC dealership for over 50 years. We take great pride in being in the Muskogee community. Things have changed over the years, but one thing remains the same, our desire to take care of our customers. Looking for a new round. From sales, parts, or service, we are here for you. You have my promise to give you the best selection, best price, and the most for your trade-in at 1600 North Main in Muskogee or KyleEdwardsGMC.com.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Back on Ruffer Football tonight from Sapulpa, the Ruffers against the Chieftains each week in our pregame countdown to kickoff. We meet one of the guys that makes a big difference tonight, a guy that will have a huge responsibility running the football. He wears the jersey number 5, Marquise Chaplin. You had to be pretty excited the last couple of weeks because, Chep, quite honestly, this ground game is starting to come of age.
Yes, sir.
Tell me how energetic you get when you know the numbers being
in football. What I'm about to do is going to be good, so just ready to show.
Ready to show, of course. Describe for me through your own thoughts, the style of football player you are, the style of running back you are, and how you get the job done.
So I know there's 2 people that I've always looked up to, my cousin and my brother, Jimmy and Maurice, and I always looked at both their styles, so I know I'm a mixture between both of them. Well, at least I tried my hardest to be, and I know my potential, and I ain't there yet, but I am working every single day to get there, and I will.
Ruffers, in Thursday's team meeting, voted you to be the guy to grab the Ruffer flag and lead the team on the field here tonight at Sapulpa. What type of energy did that give to you? Describe the thought that went through your mind and how the feelings felt emotionally about having your teammates step up and say, we want 5 to lead us to war.
It feels great. Just like Coach Conde told me, he said, you got to be a dog to be able to do that. You got to be a leader, and I am that. So I'm ready to show it.
Marquise, you and I were talking earlier, too. You've heard the phrase 6'7", 6'7", 6'7". Tell me what 6'7" means.
6'7" means so-so. It's a drink going on.
So if we turn that phrase into our own rally cry and call 5'6", 5'6", 5 for 6 points, what is that? How does that change that description?
I'm going to show you tonight on Friday. I'm going to show you for sure.
Marquise Chapman with some pregame thoughts in our countdown to kickoff, back with head coach Dale Cunnett as we continue with more Rougher Football 2025.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Runt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts, Runt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken, where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Runt's Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Runt's Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
Tonight, coming to you from Sapulpa, Muskogee Rougher Football on the road again, and Dale Cunnett. The weather forecast is perfect because it is football weather here tonight in Sapulpa.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. It's been a very warm, humid year, so we definitely will embrace the nice weather, and again, a great night for a big competition, and we're looking forward to it.
After last Thursday night's encounter with Sand Springs, you've suffered your first district loss coming into tonight's matchup against an opponent that has yet to lose in district play. All those things said, Ruffers are still in control of your destiny.
Yeah, there's a lot on the line tonight. I mean, we got home field playoff game. You got a bye. A winning season. I mean, there's just a lot of things that we have on the line. But, I felt great about the energy at practice. That would be a thing you might be concerned about after losing a tough game that you put so much energy into. But, man, we had a great week. And so, I think this team continues to see that our best football is still ahead of us.
All these things considered, I mean, it's a must-win situation if you want to get that first round bye. But then, do you have to think about points in the end result?
We're not going to be sitting good on the points because we lost the full 15 against Sand Springs, and I don't see a scenario where Sapulpa goes and beats Sand Springs by 15, in my opinion. But the first goal is just go win, and then if you have an opportunity to try to get some points there at the end, you do it just in case. But I'd be all for winning by that many. So we'll see how it goes.
But, of course, over on the other side of 6A, you've got just as much of a logjam with some of the top teams at the top playing each other, all but Choctaw, because they've already played the Powers in District Number 1.
Yeah, between Piedmont, Stillwater, and Putnam City, you got a lot of football left to be played, and in the places in that district yet to be determined. So, we'll kind of know our fate after tonight, but we'll probably have to even set back week 10 to see how things go before we know exactly who we're going to probably match up with. But, the good thing in this 6A2 is you have that bye week, which gives you, an extra week to kind of heal up and to decompress and get ready for a big round 2.
We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, it'll be time to go in the offensive locker room talk with Mason Fine about tonight's strategy for the Ruffers, putting more points on the board than the Chieftains. Then follow that up with Travis Bryant and how the Ruffers can look to keep the Chieftains off the field and give the ball right back to the offense. Before we come back with tonight's winning strategy, brought to you by Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law with head coach Dale Condit. But first, this time out, you're watching and listening to Ruffer Football here in 2025.
Proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Green Country has never been more connected. This summer, get up to 4 phones on us. Choose from the newest Apple and Samsung devices. Plus, you can save big with our unlimited talk, text, and data plans. Visit us today in-store or online at bravadowireless.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
At J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. Shop Silverados, Trailblazers, Colorados, and more. More new Chevys and top dollar for trade-in. 144 West Shawnee.
Back in the locker room inside the offensive war room with Mason Fine, offensive coordinator for the Muskogee Ruffers tonight. Before you go on against Sapulpa, a quick flashback to last week's sit back to Sand Springs. You still feel like this offensive group moved forward?
Yeah, I think we took a step forward. When you go and turn on the film, our guys are in the right spot, doing their job, and now there's a couple of plays to be made. I think that may change the outcome of the game or the result, but I like the way that, we're coming around and we're taking, 1 week at a time, keep taking a step back. And, it hurts to lose. You never want to lose. But if you lose, you want to learn from it. So I think we learned from last week and use that to take another step this week.
One of the advantages you have going into the contest tonight against Sapulpa is for another consecutive week, you'll see that four-man front, something that you haven't seen that many times this year.
Yeah, going down against a four-down front. Now, obviously, it brings its strengths and it has its weaknesses in a four-down front. But from our side, our O linemen, we have a lot of inexperience up there that we're still working with these guys day in and day out to get better. And just seeing all of our roles staying the same makes it easy on those guys. So it's just keep those guys learning. Coach Dvorak and Coach Collins is doing a great job with those guys, getting those guys up to speed. But we've had some injuries here and there. We've been looking for a couple of positions, so it's still kind of a in and out, trying to find that best five that work the best. So you're going to see a couple of guys going in and out on the O line today, and And I think, our run game's still going to be there, but we just got to learn how to be a little bit more explosive in the run game. But when it comes to the pass game, we got to, just keep doing our job and keep taking a step forward from when it comes to the quarterback and take care of the ball.
Put a few more pages to that running game with the addition of Travis Heitch in the backfield. Gives you a two-man choice, either Heitch or you can give it back to Chep.
Yeah, so, I think, one of the wrinkles we're kind of putting in just from, us as coaching staff is we got to find a breather for some of those guys that, go both ways. And, one way we can deal with that I think we're still really good out on the field is going in a little bit of 20 personnel. It gives our tight ends a little bit of a breather, and Coda and Harkin, and then, between DK or Avon, we kind of get them a breather. So having two running backs out there, I don't think we're going to skip a beat, and I think it's nice to kind of have that change of gears with Heish. Chappie's going to run you over. He's going to hit the hole, do what we tell him to do, but Heish got a little bit of savviness to him to maybe make a guy miss and go to the house.
And your defensive coordinator on the other side also has to know now you got three guys back there that are capable of running the ball, because we've seen the quick feet of Casey when he decides to pull it and go.
Yeah, it makes it hard. I talked to Coach Brian about it this last Sunday, and it makes it hard on D coordinators, especially who they want to get the strength to. Just if they're in man, a lot of action in the backfield to get those guys' eyes in the wrong place, and maybe we can crease one. So, I love 20 personnel. It's and like I was telling you earlier in the week, it's kind of the air raid was born in the 20 personnel. So yeah.
It kind of fits for the Muskogee Ruffers. Now, looking at your opponent's defensive scheme, what are the things that the Chieftains do so well that cause you to stay awake at night?
Oh, they do a lot of things, especially in the back end, up front. It's going to be a majority even, but they will show odd at times. But on the back end, you have no idea what they're doing. There's a lot of guys flying around. You go and chart it. There's all different types of coverages. So we really have to be disciplined with our eyes, with our reads, and make sure we make sure we take care of the ball, because a defense like that, they're going to be flying around causing havoc and chaos, and they're expecting kind of get you in a bind a couple of times.
Is there a particular key that you feel like you've got the upper hand and you can will the Ruffers to the win? Sapulpa wants to control the clock. They want to ground and pound. How is that? What type of pace do you want in tonight's game?
I think we got to get in a routine. We got to get in a rhythm early, and that's starting the run game. I know I say it every week, but it really makes it easy when we can run the ball, and everything else falls into place. But I challenge our O-linemen this week to go out there and be more dominant and control the line of scrimmage, and that's where it's going to come down to, especially against good teams, especially late in that fourth quarter and trying to either get a first down or control the game. You got to be able to run the ball.
Mason Fine with some offensive thoughts about tonight's opponent, the Chieftains of Sapulpa, back in the defensive locker room with Travis Bryant on how the Ruffer defense can take Sapulpa out of its game plan. That when we continue Ruffer football tonight from Sapulpa. We're back after this in Ruffer Football 2025.
At J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. Shop Silverados, Trailblazers, Colorados, and more. More new Chevys and top dollar for trade-in. 144 West Shawnee.
Green Country has never been more connected. This summer, get up to 4 phones on us. Choose from the newest Apple and Samsung devices. Plus, you can save big with our unlimited talk, text, and data plans. Visit us today in-store or online at bravadowireless.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
This land was a tapestry of Indian nations and tiny towns that grew into great cities. Bank First is loyal to the shared mission of growth and success that built Oklahoma. That's why in more than 50 communities statewide, our banks are run by local leaders who stick together and work hard to continue unlocking Oklahoma's great promise. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma, loyal to you.
Back at Sapulpa prior to tonight's all-important district matchup for the Muskogee Ruffers against the Chieftains of Sapulpa High School, who are still undefeated in district play. We bring in defensive coordinator Travis Bryant. Things learned in last week's ball game against Sand Springs that you can put to play and success here tonight against the Chieftains.
Yeah, last week we just at times we played pretty good, and then we couldn't get off the field on third down. It was disappointing. I really thought we'd play better on that side of the ball, and we just didn't make the plays we needed to get off the field.
So now tonight you go against a football team that in the scouting report is very easy, even for me in the limited time I've had on game film, to see that in my discussions with Tim Hope to confirm it's a run-oriented offense. It's a ball club that likes to make it 3 and 4 yards at a time and keep possession of the game and control the pace.
Yeah, there's no doubt they want to run the football. I mean, first downs are key. You got to get them in situations where it's second and long. You can't let them milk the clock and be in 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. But I think personnel-wise we match up really good. We've had some pretty good success at stopping the run, so I feel like it's a good matchup, and then when you can get them long yardage, you can really pin your ears back and get after them.
What things can you do defensively with personnel and with alignments that can take the Chieftains out of those shorter yardage situations on 2nd and 3rd downs?
Well, some of their personnel groupings, and we know who's in there, and we know their tendencies, we can sub in an extra D lineman. So, where they put their fullback and what we call their sniffer and where he's located out with the back, you kind of have some keys as to where and what they're running.
You've also made some personnel adjustments on that defensive alignment in positions as well as with names.
Yeah, we felt like one thing with Sand Springs, and it's not an excuse, but we felt like our depth, as we got in the mid-3rd quarter, 4th quarter, we seemed to not come off the ball quite like we were early, so we've moved some people around. Caden Harkin, we're going to move him back with his hand on the ground, which he did last year. We got some younger outside linebackers we're going to play that are pretty athletic. So it just gives us some of those guys that are playing both ways on the O-line now. It makes them fresher.
How does it also change the observation of your defensive secondary, knowing that it is such a run-oriented offense, but to be careful that they don't get sucked up too far and then get beat deep?
Yeah, that's a big thing. They run it, and then they're going to take some shots deep. I really think we're good enough up front to play our safeties deeper, to stay over the top of some things. But, that's always the hard thing in the back end is the secondary. Sometimes, I know this statement sounds weird, it's easier to stop the pass when, they throw it 70% of the time because you stay on your toes. So we got to stay awake back there.
Is there a particular key in tonight's ball game for the Ruffers being able to force the action not let Sapulpa get into that time management offense and do what they do best, run the ball down your throat?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to win on first down. I mean, I don't want to say they're a vanilla offense, but, I mean, they're going to run power or power G 50% of their run plays, and that's a play that you got to stop. I mean, if they're having success on that, you're in trouble. But you got to win on first down. You get them in second long, and then, you know, you get them in 10 personnel, you know what's coming. You can pin your ears back and get after them.
Travis Bryant with some pregame defensive thoughts in our countdown to kickoff. We'll be back with tonight's winning strategy, courtesy of the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty with head coach Dale Conant. First, this time out on Rougher Football in 2025.
Have you been injured as the result of a car accident? Has your family been impacted by the death of a loved one caused by someone else's negligence? Whatever you're dealing with, you don't have to face it alone. At 222 Injury Lawyers, our dedicated personal injury attorneys are here to fight for the justice and compensation you deserve. Call 918-528-0222.
Proudly serving the elderly of the Muskogee community, Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center is a skilled nursing facility empowering better living through long-term care as well as many other respite care options. And coming soon to Broadway, the Memory Care Unit. At Broadway Care Rehabilitation, the amazing therapy department can help you or your loved one get back on their feet. Contracted with most major insurances, follow them on Facebook and see many of the enriching activities offered to the residents. Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center, proud to support the Muskogee Roughers. Back in the locker room with Dale Conant for tonight's winning strategy, is each and every week brought to you by the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law. Dale, coming into tonight's ball game, it's, as we've mentioned already, a must-win situation for the Roughers, but it's not so much about the Chieftains, it's more about what the Roughers must go and do.
Yeah, if we can, continue to build on what we've kind of generated here about the past month, I think, we're going to have a great opportunity to have success on both sides of the ball. Our defense has been, really good all year at stopping the run, and that's, I think, Sapulpa's, the heart and soul of what they do offensively is run the football. I think quarterback's a very capable thrower, but I think they want to predicate everything off of their run game. So I feel good about that matchup. And then offensively, I think our quarterback, Cason Delgado, continues to get a better grasp every week of the offense. And we feel like all of the skill guys we put on the field can score on a given play. So, he continues to distribute the ball like we need him to, then we're going to keep moving the football.
At the start of the year, it was considered to be Sand Springs and Muskogee as the top two in the district, with Sapulpa climbing the ladder. Tim Holt's ball club has done that.
Yes, they have. They have a good record and a little bit. As far as their wins and losses, a lot like us, they, I'm not sure that they'd say they have a quality win, no different than us, and the teams that have beat them are good teams. So probably I would say truth serum, both of us are still a little bit of unknown at what level can we climb to, but I know I feel good about our guys.
All those things said, let's talk about tonight's winning strategy. You've been in this chase for the playoffs for many, many years. You've been in the playoffs every single year for more than the last 2 decades. What's it going to take for the Roughers to put a bow around this win tonight and know that you're going to the playoffs? Well,
I think the thing I said earlier in the week was to bring good energy all week. We bring good energy tonight. I think our athleticism and the quality of football players we put on the field will give us a great opportunity to win. And and then for us to move forward and make a run in the playoffs, I think that's a whole lot between the ears. We develop belief and continue to buy in, and come week, I guess it'd be 12, if we get things done tonight, then this team can beat anybody in the class.
Roughers locker room seemed to have a lot of confidence among the players all week long. Talking with them on our Tuesday night coaches show, there was no hesitation. They realized there's a job to be done. How does that confidence tonight, or that mental preparation and security of thought, pour over into the Roughers getting the win against the Chieftains?
Well, I know it makes me feel good about what we're doing. I mean, we tell them what they need to know, and I always try to be up front with them. And one of the things we've said all year is just continue to stay the course and improve every week. And if you get better every week, then we feel like our top end potential with the quality of athletes we have is as good as anybody's.
The good book says good things come to those who believe. The Ruffers believe in their game plan. They believe that tonight will be the difference for the Muskogee Ruffers picking up a victory over Sapulpa. Back with Health of the Ruffers, we'll go in and talk with Justin Laird about tonight's outlook physically for Muskogee against Sapulpa. But first, this time out on Ruffer Football 2025.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember? ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Back tonight at Sapulpa. Time for this week's Health of the Ruffers, brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy. Head athletic trainer Justin Laird, our guest. And Justin, you have a very prepared group of trainers that help you each and every day, the student group that helps you get everything on the field, off the field, and in the vans and ready to go. They participated, at least many of them, last year in your introduction to athletic trainer, and another one this year. How much of a benefit is it to these young ladies to be a benefit when it comes game day?
Oh, absolutely. It is a benefit. When I first started here 4 years ago, I had 3 student trainers, and we've worked from 3 to we got 10 now. Unfortunately, I got 8 of them are seniors. I'll lose this year, and over half of them have been in the intro to athletic training class, which helps. It's a benefit to them because they learn what to do when it comes time to go to the field, get ready to travel or whatever. And it helps me and Leo out. If they already know, we don't have to worry about as much. They get everything packed and ready to go.
One of the Ruffers that's sidelined tonight is the regular starting center, Hunter Lanier, who sustained the knee injury early in the game last week against Sand Springs. But he got some good news after evaluation that it's not a done for the year type injury.
Oh, absolutely not. It's a typical, what I say, a lineman's knee. He got hit by his own lineman. He strained his MCL, and so for precautionary and rehab, we're going to hold him out for the next 2 games and have him ready for playoffs.
What things can you do to strengthen that injury to give Hunter full confidence that when he goes back over center that he's going to be able to operate the way he normally would?
Well, unfortunately, with an MCL on a lot of that, it's more immobilization and rest. So we've got him icing down and immobilized for about a week and a half or so, and then we'll slowly start back into some range of motion and strength exercises.
What things you also have to be cautious of tonight, because this, for the first time this season, is going to be probably the coolest night or chilliest night of the 25 football season. How does that affect the body's performance?
Well, it affects the body's performance in the fact that a lot of our athletes, because it's cold, they'll stop drinking water and they'll start cramping up. And me and Leo all day yesterday and today have preached to them, you might say, get the water, get the fluids down you, because nothing's changed as far as that. As far as the cold weather, they have cold weather gear they'll put on. Some of them don't need to be wearing the cold weather gear because they sweat so much and it pulls the sweat out of the body. But we try to educate them on it and make sure they're hydrated and ready to go regardless of the weather.
Back with more of this week's Health of the Ruffers, brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy. But first, this time out on Ruffer Football 2025.
Pain is temporary. Pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Back here at Sapulpa on this week's Health of the Ruffers. Justin, we were talking a moment ago about the injury to Hunter Lanier. He's out for at least a couple of ball games. Another one of the centers, Jordan Hanlon, on the sideline tonight, still in that concussion protocol. But for this deep into the season, against the type of football teams the Ruffers have played, especially early on in the season and then last week's Sand Springs matchup, it's a pretty good health report.
It is a pretty good health report. Unfortunately, the only bad part about it is both of our two that are out this week are our centers. So, you got to find another center in their backup to utilize, with Jordan on a concussion protocol for right now and the MCL with Hunter. We'll have them back ready for playoffs.
Now, as you and Leo and the training staff observe tonight's action, what are the things from the sideline you guys are going to be keeping a cautious eye on?
Well, being the cold weather and probably the coldest game so far this year, we worry about the stretching. We don't want the muscles getting tight or strained because they're not stretching, so we make sure they get stretched out very well and they're ready to go. And like I said, if they maintain their hydration, we'll be.
Tonight's Health of the Ruffers brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy. Back to Sapulpa. Starting lineups coming your way. Brought to you by Nissan of Muskogee. That after this timeout on Ruffer Football 2025.
The Bank First tagline, Loyal to Oklahoma and You, isn't just a slogan. It's our pledge to every community we serve.
It's about donating our time, talent, and resources to develop relationships.
Local schools to provide a productive environment for the success of our students.
It's about engaging with local boards, committees, and foundations to improve the lives of our friends and neighbors.
We're loyal to the Muskogee community because it's our community too.
After all, life is about more than just balance sheets and bottom lines.
Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma, loyal to you. Member FDIC.
59 degrees and clear skies here at George Collins Stadium. Bill Huddleston at Campton in our pregame countdown to kickoff brought to you by Nissan of Muskogee. Time for tonight's starting lineups. First of all, for the Chieftains of head coach Tim Holt. It'll be the offense that sees the field first of all for the blue and silver. Braddock Broughton, a two-year starter at quarterback. A quartet of receivers, Bryce Curran, Jackson Stone, along with Logan Mason, doing most of that work. But, Nick, what's made the ground game so effective is in the play of those big guys up front that average tackle to tackle 279 per man. Cale Bearpaw, Camden George, David Rodriguez, Jared Hammer, and Thomas Lopez.
They got a couple of those guys that are back from last year or 2 years, some of them. So, yeah, they're an experienced crew. They're going to be the heart of things. We talked a little bit to Kyron Cope this week for our Phoenix interview, and he was kind of under the impression that he thought our defensive line could handle them. And so I think that'll be a big key, is if that is the case, that'll make life a lot easier for the Ruffers.
Back deep to receive for the Chieftains, Michael Bennett along with Messiah Felder. And in the middle, Colt Gray, as we're just about ready for Zeppelin Ballalaw to put it on the tee here at George Collins Stadium. Welcome to another Friday night of Muskogee High School football. Week number 9, Nick. How fast it is gone.
Boy, it has been a fast 9 weeks, hasn't it? Next week's the final game of the regular season. Just amazing.
Here comes Z with the strong right leg. He'll put a driving kick. It's a little shorter kick. It'll be fielded up and around the 20 by the Chieftains, trying to come right. Ruffers quickly downfield on the coverage, stopping that one virtually at the 25-yard line, where Sapulpa will put its offense on the field for the first time tonight. The defensive lineup tonight with a 4-man front, Hayden Bonholt, Jack Green, Kyron Cope, and Caden Harkin, who will put his hand on the ground. The linebackers, including Trey Jackson, Coda Barnowski, Arias Parrish. On the corners, Nunu James, along with Decaden Ford, Avon Goodland, and Jamie Beasley will be this 2 safeties for the Ruffers. But this will be keeping people in the box, Nick, a whole lot tonight because this is such a ground-oriented attack.
About a 70-30 split.
Quick handoff, trying to go left side. Ruffers stack it up at the line of scrimmage and virtually stop that one from maybe a yard, possibly a 2-yard pickup upfield from the 25 to the 27. Second down and 8 yards to go.
There's not much there as the Ruffers collapsed on him and stopped him just right at the line of scrimmage, managed to fall forward for a couple of yards.
Levi Jensen has been the workhorse of this trio of running backs, comes in with 123 carries for 751 yards and 10 rushing touchdowns. Quarterback Braddock Broughton, who missed 3 games earlier this season, getting 100%, at least according to Tim Holt. The handoff on second down. This one doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. It may be marked back around the 26. So that Ruffer defensive stinginess up front, stopping the Chieftains and putting them into a 3rd and long situation, needing 9 to move the chains.
And that's exactly where the Ruffers want them to be, having to pass, which is not the strong suit for this Sapulpa team. So the Roughers get them kind of behind the chains here on third down.
Bryce Curran is the leading receiver. He's in the interior slot as it's an empty backfield for Broughton. He'll take the snap at the waist-high level, look to sling it downfield. Roughers with pretty good coverage with the pass way off target, intended for Curran. Pretty good coverage that time downfield by Muskogee as Dustin Martin was in defensive coverage, but we've got a pink flag on the field tonight. Breast Cancer Awareness Celebration, but an infraction of action. Pass interference going to be called on the green and white. That'll bring up an automatic 1st and 10.
So the Roughers, after stopping them, get called for the pass interference downfield. And so that'll be 15 yards, and it'll move the ball up to about the 41.
The 15-yard penalty moves the ball to the
Muskogee tonight here against Sapulpa with the win, would all but finish second with their win next week over Putnam City North. Of course, that's not guaranteed. But certainly if they want that upper first or second place and first round bye in the playoffs, they need a win tonight here against the Chieftains, who would like to go into next week's 100 meeting against the Sandites of Sand Springs in that neighborhood backyard brawl 1 week from tonight. Out of the gun, turn, handed off, coming right. Roughers fill the gap this time and close the wall and the window and lock the door quickly.
That's Bennett running that time.
Bennett, the ball carrier, but he was met by a host of tacklers. One of those coming up from a safety position that time was Avon Goodland, sticking a silver helmet right in the middle of the fray, along with the defensive muscle of Jack Green and Kyron Cope and Hayden Von Holt.
So nothing there, 2nd and 10.
Roughers back to that three-man front. They'll flip Harkin and Cope at the defensive end spots. Cope will come off the left edge. 2nd and 10 from the 41. Now flip the running back, Bennett, over to the left of the quarterback. The snap at the knees. Broughton's in the pocket, going to be forced to the edge. Well, he'll sling it upfield and just throw it out of bounds.
Wow, good pressure put on that time by Arias Parrish coming in from the linebacker spot. Really decked Broughton just as he threw that.
So after no gain on first down and an incomplete on second down, it becomes again 3rd and long for the Chieftains, something that Travis Bryant felt like with the muscle and the aggressive play of the Roughers defensive inside receivers will go out wide to the left. Curran, the favorite target all season long. He'll be in the middle of that 3-receiver pack. Broughton will take the snap, and prior to the snap, we got a whistle and an infraction, and the Roughers going to get called for offside.
Wow.
Somebody stepping into that neutral zone, so that'll be a +5 penalty. Our referee tonight is Rick Boswell. His officiating counterparts, Elliott Smith, Trey Howell, John Housel, and Matthew Boland out of the Greater Tulsa Officials Association. Still a 3rd and 5 now for the Chieftains. They'll stack receivers left and right outside on the numbers. Broughton with the running back to his right. Snaps his hands, and the Roughers trying to guess the count. They came charging and, again, leap offside. So now, Nick, here early in this first 2 series of possession by Sapulpa, penalty flags have hurt the Roughers to the tune of another first down.
Wow.
3 to the Muskogee 49. 9:48. The clock stopped on the penalty flag. Chieftains like to control the clock.
Jensen back in at the running back spot.
He'll line up to the right side. Quick snap. Jensen takes the handoff, but he gets body slammed by
Jack Green.
Jack Green, who just wrapped his arms around the shoulders and wrestled him. A nice wrestling move for the nose guard of the Roughers, who came in with 40 tackles so far this season. Again, a 2nd and long for the blue and white.
Tell you what, if the Chieftains' running game is their strength, the Roughers have diagnosed that well tonight, stopped it. The Roughers have shot themselves in the foot, giving them 2 first downs and penalties so far.
So now Jackson Stone will come to the boundary right side, and Curran will be on the slot position to that same side of the field. Up top, Barber and Goodland. Jensen to the right of Broughton. Roughers show pressure off the edge, ready to charge. Snap back to Broughton. Looks to throw, wants to air it out downfield. Roughers get over there quickly. It's caught on the edge and able to keep his feet in bounds and go to the end zone. Touchdown, Landon Barber. A well-thrown ball by Braddock Broughton and great concentration by Barber to take it the distance, 49 yards for the touchdown.
And that's exactly what the Roughers did not want to see. Passing's not their strength, but boy, Broughton put that right on the numbers. Pretty good coverage by the Roughers at that time, but it was right there where it needed to be, and Barber takes it in after making the catch for about 15 yards after the catch.
But pink flags hurt the Ruffers in this first series and give Sapulpa a chance to continue the possession, and they score on their first series, going 75 yards for the touchdown. Now it'll be Jack Madden on to try to make it a 7-0 ball game. Snap a little bit low. The kick is up. It is good. Timeout is on the field. 8:54 to go, quarter number one. Chieftains lead the Muskogee Ruffers 7-0. We're back in 30 seconds. Ruffer football 2025.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
A 6-play drive that covers 75 yards, the 49-yard touchdown strike brought to Barber with 8:54 to go. The drive recap brought to you by Nissan of Muskogee. Not the way the Ruffers had intended to start, and from the muscle of the defense against the ground game, Nick, everything was going according to game plan.
It was. It was stopped the ground game. Chieftains right now have like 1 yard on 5 carries on the ground, but the passing and the penalties hurt the Ruffers on that drive.
So now we'll see the return team of the Ruffers trying to change the momentum. Here's the left kick. He'll float it up high in the sky, drifting back on a catch. Fair catch called and taken there by Trayshawn Pouncil. So Muskogee's going to get decent field position, Nick, to start their first series. They'll start from their own 35-yard line. 8:54 to go, quarter number one, down 7-0. Don't forget the weekend. If you get the hungries, the place to go for great tasting barbecue is My Place Barbecue West. Whether you dine in or you get it to go through the drive-through window, whether it's the ribs, whether it's the sliced, whether it's the chopped beef sandwich, or to My Place Barbecue West. And don't forget about the great tasting desserts. My favorite, of course, the blackberry cobbler. Make your place My Place Barbecue West.
So Cason Delgado brings the Ruffers out for their first possession of the evening. A little more sense of urgency now that they find themselves trailing 7-0.
Marquise Chaplin will line up to the right of Delgado. He'll throw up field in space, and it's a little underthrown. Trying to find Coda Bardowski coming out the tight end route. There was contact out on the field, Nick, but not enough, of course.
Well, there is a flag out there.
Okay, there is a pink one. It's hard sometimes to see.
Yeah, it's hard. These pink flags are a little harder to see. You're right.
Referees have been tossing him. It's a PI against the Chieftains, so the same as a moment ago. So that'll move the ball after the flag out to the 49-yard line and give the Ruffers up another first down. Muskogee tonight coming in 4-4 on the season, 4-1 in league play, currently setting in the 3 spot of the district standings behind Sand Springs and Sapulpa, who interplay tonight, still undefeated.
So now the Ruffers just on their side of the 50 with their first offensive play now.
Jamie Beasley and Decaden Ford. Twins come to the left side. Back in the pocket is Delgado. Throws upfield out on the edge. Caught by Ford at about the 42-yard line. On the opposite end, he's about a yard shy of the yard line to gain. A 9-yard pickup, and it'll be second and a yard to go. But that's the type of short yardage situation the Ruffers running game wants to feast upon.
That's exactly right. And now that makes second down. You got a lot of options here on the play.
Trips to the right side, right. Delgado will hand it off to Chap. He's got the first down yardage and some change before he stood up and pushed to the turf. He'll get across the 40 down to the 39. A 3-yard pickup, good enough for a Kyle Edwards GMC Ruffer. First down and 10.
That's what we want to see, just moving the ball down the field. Got a little help with the penalty, and now pass and run, and the Ruffers inside the 40.
8:25 and counting here at quarter number one. Chieftains with the 49-yard touchdown strike, the early advantage on the scoreboard. Delgado with a running back. They bring Ford in motion. Counter, handed off to Chap, bounces off one tackler, slicing his way forward for about a 1-yard pickup. Good recovery that time by the linebacking core of the Chieftains. Jace McIntosh, Jackson Mills, 2 of those hard-hitting guys in the middle, and then the ever-present muscle of Deshaun Koch. His mother, Nick, a German immigrant, a 4-year starter at the nose guard.
Ruffers now 2nd and 9 Good misdirection play, but Sapulpa defensed it well.
Twin receivers outside the hash to the right. Beasley's going to come across in front of Delgado. They'll pitch it to Jamie. Blockers in front, trying to find just an angle, dancing around, spins out of one tackle, and struggles to get downfield. He'll get to about the 33. So that will be a 5-yard pickup on the second down. The Ruffers will have a 3rd and 4 situation as the clock continues to count away precious seconds. One of the things that Sapulpa does, Nick, with their ground game is they chew up so much time off the clock. And that's positions will be golden here tonight.
And that keeps Delgado and company off the field when they do that.
Trips will come outside to the left. Case and Delgado in the gun, going to pull it, keep it on his own. Outside, 30, 25, 20, 15, and down to the 13-yard line on the quarterback keeper, Case and Delgado. He stretches it downfield from the 33 to the 13, a 20-yard gallop by the Ruffer quarterback over Dawson Goodland to make the stop for the Chieftains, but it's 1st and 10. Kyle Edwards, GMC Ruffer, 1st down and 10.
That was a nice misdirection, too. Everybody was looking for Chaplin to run, and Delgado keeps it himself.
This drive started at the 34 with a PI adding 15 to the start of it. Now Delgado on a 1st and 10 from the Chieftain 15. Hands it off to Chaplin, running straight ahead, and he gets maybe a yard before he's bear hugged by that defensive front of the Chieftains. It's a George Koch, Watson, and Hall across the front, backed up by the trio of linebackers that are all 3 wrestlers in the winter sports. No gain on the play.
So far, Sapulpa's done a good job of clogging up the middle and not letting the Ruffers get anything inside.
Ruffers with a couple of replacement lineup due to some injuries. Jace Hardeman got the start at center on a 2nd and 10. Snap goes back to Delgado. He pulls it, rolls to the edge, wants to throw underneath to Beasley at the 10. Jamie at the 5, stretches the long body down to about the 3-yard line. Nice effort by Beasley, able to stretch forward. He'll get all the way to the 2, Nick. He needed the 3. That's 11. And a Kyle Edwards Buick GMC Ruffer, 1st down and goal to go.
So Delgado 3 for 3 passing so far.
Hasn't had a lot of pressure in his face either, Nick. That play stayed in bounds, so the clock will continue to run. We're now at the midway mark of the opening quarter. Ruffers with this first series.
Moved the pocket that time as Delgado rolls out to his left and bought himself some more time.
This will be the 8th snap in this series. It started back at the Muskogee 34. Case and that's actually McHenry got it handed off and tries to go backside on the give to Chaplin. And he's going to lose a yard, Nick, back upfield to the 3. Michael Bennett, the linebacker, who's been one of the leading tacklers in this star-studded trio of linebackers for Tim Holt's defensive-clad Chieftains. Ruffers have a 2nd and now goal to go.
McHenry stays in at the quarterback spot as Ruffers go on this 2nd and goal.
Got to make the Chieftains have to honor that wildcat running ability of the Muskogee senior. Barnowski is in. This is kind of that heavy package there. Now they'll shift McHenry up on the line of scrimmage, and a penalty flag is going to come off the side. Ruffers asking for a timeout, and we'll do the same. 4:58 to play here in quarter number 1. Sapulpa with a 7-0 advantage. Ruffers knocking on the door. We're back in 30 seconds on Ruffer Football 2025.
This land was a tapestry of Indian nations and tiny towns that grew into great cities. Bank First is loyal to the shared mission of growth and success that built Oklahoma. That's why in more than 50 communities statewide, our banks are run by local leaders who stick together and work hard to continue unlocking Oklahoma's great promise. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma, loyal to you.
Nick, over this past week, we've had a lot of rainfall. We've had a lot of wind. Sometimes that loosens the shingles on the top of your home or your business, and you see a drip come through the ceiling. Have you ever had that?
I have had that.
And when you have that happen at your home or your business, that's when you need to call Stephen Lane and his crew at Roughneck Roofing. They'll not only come out and fix the problem, before they do, they'll give you a photographic evaluation of exactly the status of your roof and have it repaired, and you back with all smiles and in the dry. Roughneck Roofing, proud to be a part of Ruffer Football here in 2025. 2nd and goal to go now from the 3 after the timeout.
More traditional look now with Chaplin back there with McHenry.
Back he goes to Mack. He's going to run to his right, trying to stretch the defense. He stops, and boy, when you stop,
you're dead. Yep.
Silver and blue come in a hurry, and they stuff McHenry back at about where are they going to get the forward progress to?
4, I think. Well, it looks like on this side, maybe the
back at the 3, so we'll call it no gain, and it'll be 3rd down. But boy, when you're going to run that type of a option type situation, Styling can't afford to stop because the silver and blue are come charging like a bunch of raging bulls. 4:28 and counting here at quarter number 1. Ruffers with their only possession of this first quarter of action. Nunu James will be the receiver out far to the right side on the boundary. Beasley will line up as a slot to the inside. Now Delgado back in at quarterback. The snap goes inside, and the Ruffers fumble the football, and nope. Was it a pass? It must have been. There's a flag down on the play as well, Nick. Procedure is going to be called against Muskogee.
Ruffers, yeah.
Side judge throwing the pink laundry, and that might have been a break for the Ruffers because that ball was bouncing
loose,
around like one out on the tennis courts. Illegal procedure against the Ruffer, or as the PA announcer refers to it as a false start. So that'll move it from the 3 back to the 8, where it's now 3rd and goal to go. This has been a stingy defense all season long for the Chieftains through their first 8 games, giving up just 14.5 points per ball game, limiting their opponents to less than 200 yards in total offense. So now twin receivers either side. Delgado at quarterback, moved Chaplin in motion out to the edge. Good protection. Cason's going to throw across the middle. This one was thrown right into the hands of the safety who stepped up into the passing lane and knocked it down, and that was almost an interception.
Wow. Lucky there, the Ruffers got that one back.
Ruffers tried to throw the crossing route, but the only crossed up situation was the eyes of Cason Delgado. So now Muskogee will, facing 4th and goal to go from the 8, Nick, bring on Zevelin Ballalong for what would be his first field goal attempt of the year.
This will be a 25-yard attempt for Ballalong.
T will be placed at the 15 on the right hash mark. Harkin to snap. Barnowski holds, Zeeb toes it up. It's long enough, it looks good, and it is good. A 25-yard field goal by Zevelin Ballalong finishes the drive. Ruffers needed 7. They got 3. 3:47 left, quarter number 1. Sapulpa 7, Muskogee 3. We're back after this 30-second timeout of Ruffer Football 2025.
At J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. Shop Silverados, Trailblazers, Colorados, and more. More new Chevys and top dollar for trade-in. 144 West Shawnee. At J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. Shop Silverados, Trailblazers, Colorados, and more. More new Chevys and top dollar for trade-in. 144 West Shawnee.
An 11-play drive that starts at the 34, gets as deep as the 2 in Sapulpa territory before penalties and the unsuccessful running and passing game. Ruffers settle for the 25-yard field goal by Zevelin Ballalong with 3:47 left, quarter number 1, making it a 7-3 advantage for the Chieftains.
Kind of disappointing. The Ruffers had a 1st and goal from the 2 and couldn't punch it in.
So that'll be up to the defense again to get back in what will be only the 2nd possession of this very quick-paced first quarter of action. Ruffers with the silver helmets as the ball goes deep this time. It'll hit at the goal line and bounce into the end zone, and that's where the ball will, on the touchback, come out to the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Chieftains. Last week was Hall of Fame week at Ruffer Village. Friday evening with the opportunity to officially induct 6 members to the Athletic Hall of Fame. And those inductees were presented with an outstanding award individually designed by the creative group at I-40 Sports and Awards. They do that each and every year for Muskogee Athletics. When you want to recognize your outstanding performers, call on Martin Updike at I-40 Sports and Awards and discuss what your award needs may be, and they'll do the same as they do for the Ruffers. Proud to be a part of Ruffer football. Here's the snap. Handed off back to the near side. Good blocking, good running room. 30, 35, lowers his head, steamrolls a would-be tackler. Man, Cruz Delgado just got leveled as Bennett lowered his head and just bull rushes the rougher cornerback and powers his way all the way from the 20 out to the 44, a 24-yard pickup.
Significant run that the Chieftains have had tonight after the Roughers have bottled them up pretty well, but a good hole open that right tackle.
Ruffers' defensive edge just got blocked inside, and there was nobody guarding the hen house. So now Broughton this time will hand it off, bouncing in, out, and up the field, 50, 45, into Rougher territory at the 35, and again, a steamrolled effort by Levi Jensen. He'll go all the way to the 33-yard line. So 6 up, 17 down. That's a, 23-yard run?
Yep.
So back-to-back runs of 24 and 23 have put the Chieftains on the plus side of the 50 at the 33-yard line. For defensive front, felt like they could control the line of scrimmage, but whatever they fed the offensive line in that time on the sidelines has kind of changed the play here. Broughton with the running back to his right shoulder, claps his hands it off through a crease, running past one tackler, past another, dragging another white shirt before Barnowski can finally take the running back to the turf. That's Deshaun Koch. Koch, a 6'2", 230-pound senior, a strong guy. And 2 minutes and 17 seconds as the rush goes down to the 35-yard line.
Koch comes into the game. We had 30 carries for 246 yards coming in tonight.
He got 8 on that carry, and it's a second down and short situation. Koch will be to the left of Broughton. The clap of the hands, handed off again. This is Koch trying to find a crease, running to his right. Has the first down markers. He'll get to the 22 before Muskogee can finally stop that forward progress. JoJo Alexander, one of the first Roughers to get into that conflict, but not before the ball carrier gets to the 22, Nick, and they move the chains.
Sapulpa's found kind of a weakness just outside the ends for the Roughers so far. All their big gains have been just outside the end. Roughers losing containment.
The closing down blocking scheme of the running back. Now here's Broughton going to throw a little quick release upfield, and it's caught out on the boundary, making the catch. That is, again, Landon Barber, the sophomore slot back. He'll make the catch and get pushed out of bounds down around the 13. So that's a 9-yard pickup. Chieftains don't throw the ball a lot, Nick, but because they've been so effective with the run, you have to load up the box. That's when they take their shot this time for 9. Second and a yard to go. 1:40 to play here in quarter number 1. Sapulpa with a 7-3 advantage. Broughton this time will wait. He'll hand off to his running back, and I think Broughton may have stepped on the foot of the running back Levi Jensen. He'll lose yardage back upfield to the 15. That's a plus for the Muskogee defense.
So the Roughers go up. So go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Roughers now have a good defensive play. Let's see if they can carry it on out.
Loss of 2 on that play. And now the Roughers trying to guess the snap count, and I think somebody jumped offside, and it was.
And that'll give them the first down.
Roughers, Destin Martin a little eager to get into the backfield. That offside penalty adds up another flag that penalizes the Roughers and gives Sapulpa yet another fresh set of downs at the 10-yard line.
5 penalties here in this first quarter for the Roughers. Wow.
1:15 left to play in the opening 12. Clock running. Chieftains threatening. Broughton with the running back to his right. Stands tall in the pocket, looks to run, darts up into the pocket, in some trouble. Now at the last minute throws it to the end zone, and a wide open receiver was out there. He was trying to throw it in the direction of Barber as the coverage by Delgado had come free. But the incomplete pass on first down will bring up 2nd and goal to go. It stopped the clock with 1:01 left here in the first 12 minutes of action.
Barber and Curran have been the leading receivers so far for the Chieftains, along with Stone. Stone, the leading guy back, but he missed 3 games earlier in the season, so his numbers not quite what they would be.
2 wide receivers out on the edge, and again the Roughers charge, and boy, somebody's going to have to bridle back again. This is Jack Green jumping offside. He was bull rushing the offensive lineman. That 5-yard penalty will again hurt the Roughers' field position, and the Chieftains will get it ever so much closer to the goal line, where it'll be 2nd and goal with 1:01 left here in quarter number 1.
Well, this would be disheartening for the Roughers if Sapulpa cashes it in here, 2 drives and 2 touchdowns.
Running back this time will be Michael Bennett. Broughton will now wait, and he'll look to the sideline, and the Chieftains will spin a timeout, and we'll do the same. Take a 30-second timeout to return with Sapulpa knocking on the door looking for their second score of the night, leading 7-3. We're back after this in 30 seconds on Rougher Football 2025.
Ugh, my brother and sister left me again. They went back to school. Can you believe that? But don't worry, they still call me every morning, thanks to their brand new phones from Bravado Wireless. My sister even dropped hers in the pool, but Bravado's trade-in help has her covered. And my brother, he's flexing with the new iPhone 16 Pro Max. Like, how cool is that? Mom and Dad got deals too. Bravado's unlimited plan saved the whole family money.
All the wind and all the rain earlier this week. Seen a lot of the acorns and the hickory nuts falling to the ground, along with the leaves and the pine needles around my home. And it was today that Antonio Zapata and his team of outstanding, hardworking young men were at the house doing a little cleanup work, Nick. They got rid of the pine needles. They got rid of the leaves. They trimmed the grass, hopefully for the last time. They can do the same for you and get your house looking its best. And also, as Antonio said, I got to go put up holiday Christmas lights.
Yeah, it's that
so
time, isn't it?
Don't forget Zapata Lawn and Tree. Check him out. More details online on Facebook. Zapata Lawn and Tree, proud part of Rougher Football. Now, kind of a off-balance I formation. Handoff, waiting for blockers, trying to spin free, dragging 1, dragging 2, fighting for the goal line, and getting into the end zone is the Bull, Deshaun Kosh, the 6'2", 230-pound senior. He was a Vibe Top 100 pick, more for his defensive expertise, Nick, but that time he was just not going to be denied. He finishes it on the 5-yard run with 54.9 seconds left. It's an 80-yard drive by the Chieftains for their second score of the night. An 8-play, 80-yard drive. Runs of 24 and 23, and then a finishing 5-yard bolt by Koch. And it's a 14-3 ball game. That drive summary brought to you by Nissan of Muskogee.
So the Roughers now on offense have really got to step it up. I would expect us to see the ball in the air a little bit more on this series for the Roughers.
See how the Chieftains will play against the Roughers return game. As Bennett will approach, he'll pump it up high in the air. Roughers again signal for the fair catch. It's taken by Trayshawn Pouncil, and the Roughers will start as they did a moment ago, upfield from the 30 at about the 33-yard line. But, Nick, only 54.9 seconds remain, and the Roughers will get their hands on the football for just the second time tonight.
Now, they got to make something happen here. And the defense so far has not been able to get the job done against Sapulpa. Shooting themselves in the foot with all these penalties hasn't helped any.
Chieftains gave up no points to Capitol Hill, 6 to Putnam City West, nothing to Ponca City, 14 to PC North, and 21 to Bartlesville in conference play. Roughers 1st and 10 from the 33. Delgado takes the snap, hands it off to Chaplin, trying to come straight ahead, and there's a host of blue jerseys ready and waiting to snuff that one at the line of scrimmage. Jackson Mills, one of the first linebackers to get into the fray. He had 49 tackles entering play tonight. He had 65 last year as a starting linebacker.
Chaplin with 5 carries for just 4 yards so far for the Roughers.
Got nothing there. It'll be 2nd and 10. Decaden Ford and Nunu James will be outside on the hash, wide to the right. Beasley's to the short side left. Now Flip Barnowski in motion. Delgado takes the snap. He's in some trouble. He throws it upfield in the direction of Decaden Ford.
He was really under some pressure
he
there, too.
He was indeed. There was blue heat in his face.
Sequoia Hall, the defensive end, really putting the pressure on him that time and forced Delgado to make a short pass.
Effort. Yeah. He skipped it in front in the at least the general vicinity of DK.
Fortunately, yeah, it was in the vicinity otherwise.
14 seconds left in quarter number 1. Roughers facing a 3rd and 10. Twin receivers to the short side left, stacked out on the right. Now bring motion behind Delgado. He'll ball fake, go back to the opposite side, stop, throw up the field, impact. This one's intercepted. That was just thrown right into the center fielder's hands. And on the INT, the Chieftains have a wall of blockers coming upfield. Oh, there's got to be a clip. No penalty flag thrown. Yeah, there it came finally. Making the play, the Mosquito, Carter Mosquito making the INT, and that's just a bad throw. That's all you can say, Nick. It was look right into the eyes of the defensive back and see if you can catch it.
Just kind of like that pass down on the goal line where the Roughers were fortunate it wasn't intercepted down there. They threw it right into the hands of the safety. Now the officials can rain about this flag.
Yeah, there was an obvious block in the back on the return. But Carter Mosquito with his third INT of the season. That's the 9th pass interception of the year for the Chieftains. But, Nick, this ball game is getting upside down in a hurry.
It is.
Because irregardless of the penalty flag on the call against the Chieftains, it'll be marked 15 yards from the infraction spot, which was around the 23.
Block in the back is the official signal.
He'll move it 15 yards upfield. And put the ball at the, well, they're only going to mark it 10, so to 33, and that's right where it was prior to the snap of the football. So Mosquito with the INT gives Sapulpa a great opportunity here with 5 seconds left to go in this opening 12. These Chieftains are wanting that 100 meeting against Sand Springs to mean all the marbles. Broughton will turn, play action, wait in the pocket, throw the ball wide open receiver. Again, good opportunity and just a wide open target. Again, this time going right back to Landon Barber, and it's a 33-yard touchdown strike.
And this is disappointing.
Hold on, Nick. Hold on. We've got a pink flag out on the field.
Behind the line of scrimmage.
Holding's going to be the call against the Chieftains. And, boy, there's a frustrated look on the face of the quarterback, Braddock Broughton, because he knew he had pulled the rabbit out of the hat or perhaps fooled the Roughers here on this Halloween night.
Roughers fortunate there. So
big, huge break, Nick, because that holding penalty will be marked off from the previous spot, which was the 33. And so it'll take points off the board and give Sapulpa a 1st and 20 to start the second quarter of action. Chieftains with high energy and a 14-3 lead over the visiting Muskogee Roughers. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Rougher Football 2025.
Brunt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends.
Okay, there's going to be the one untimed down, Nick, so we'll play it now. The referee's going to come up and say, oh, hold on. And they're trying to get the chains repositioned. We took the timeout, Nick, thinking it was end of quarter, but it's not. So the officials will have to reset the down markers, which was at the 33-yard line. And there'll be one extra untimed down here in quarter number 1. But the Roughers have hurt themselves, Nick, with untimely penalties and
loose coverage in the secondary, quite frankly. That last pass, well, Barber was wide open and made a nice run untouched.
So now on a 1st and 20 from the 43. It did take points off the board, though, unfortunately, Nick.
Yes.
Broughton with the running back off his left shoulder will turn, hand it off, and running straight ahead this time. The Roughers snuff it right at the line of scrimmage. That's Bennett getting back, or rather, Jensen, getting back to the line of scrimmage at the 43. Quarter number 1 is in the books. 14-3, Sapulpa back to Harv Collins Stadium after this 30-second timeout. You're watching and listening to Rougher Football 2025.
Brunt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts, Brunt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken. Where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Brunt's Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Brunt's Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
Whenever the Muskogee Roughers play in front of the hometown fans at Rougher Village, it's the same as when you work with Lynn Wallace and her team at Cornerstone Home Lending, because home is where happy lives. With honest, well-communicated, and knowledge-based experience, Cornerstone Home Lending can find you the right loan that will get you to your new home happy. No matter if you're buying or refinancing, you can always go home with the help of Lynn Wallace and Cornerstone Home Lending. Call 918-600-0602.
So 2nd and 20 now for the Chieftains from the Ruffer 43-yard line.
Starting the second quarter, Chieftains with a 14-3 advantage. Broughton this time with Michael Bennett in as the running back. He'll line up off the right shoulder. Stacked receivers left and right. Broughton's going to stand tall on the top. He's just going to throw it downfield deep. Ruffers are beat on the play as McHenry was trying to give chase. The ball went in the general direction of Jackson Stone, or rather is that Bryce Curran?
Curran.
Whatever the circumstance, the pass incomplete. And so it'll be a third down and now 20 yards to go for Sapulpa. Nick, Ruffers sure need to get a roll of the dice. Trick or treat, trick or treat. Give me something green that's sweet like an INT here.
Yeah, if we can't stop them on a 3rd and 20, we've got a problem.
Twin receivers again out on the far right hash. Bennett is the running back to the left of Broughton. The protection is good. Ruffers crash, forcing Broughton out of the pocket. Now he's just going to throw it up for grabs. Covering over on the play. Ruffers collide each other. Safeties were back in the right spot, and Kaysen Delgado and Avon Goodland collide with each other, and the ball goes to the turf incomplete. I'm thinking that's like two outfielders, Nick, that say, I got it, and neither one could hear the other. The ball for Sapulpa falls harmlessly incomplete, and the Ruffers, unfortunately, can't get the takeaway. But it is 4th down.
Wow. Yeah, Goodland had a bead on that, and he was going to intercept it. And as you say, Cruz Delgado just came over there and collided with him.
So now the Chieftains, with the clock stopped 11:45 into quarter number 2.
Sequoia Hall back in punt formation for Sapulpa.
37.9 yard per kick average so far this season. Snap is back to Hall. One snap and a driving launched missile downfield. It'll hit and squirt out of bounds right about the 7-yard line. Officials will come over. They'll line it up. And they're going to put it with the pink bag on the ground at the 9-yard line. So now Muskogee, Nick, down by 2 scores, 14-3. Will have to go the entire length of the artificial surfaces here at Harv Collins Stadium. 11:39 left to go in quarter number 2. Still a lot of football to be played on this Friday night, but wow, you got yourself in a little bit of a predicament.
Ruffer offense just has not looked in sync at all so far tonight.
So this time the Ruffers will put a trio of receivers, Ford, Goodland, and Beasley out on the far left. Nunu is by himself on the numbers to the boundary right. Empty backfield for Delgado. Bring James in front. Delgado will hand it off to James, trying to get to the corner. Changes gears. Out across the 15, out across the 20. Ball came free, and Chieftains have got the football.
Wow.
And this is turning into All Hallows Eve as the Chieftains get the ball knocked out of the hands of Nunu James, and it appears that the fumble recovery was made by Ryland Watson. And it's recovered at the 22-yard line. So in the words of Serpro, it's as if it never happened, the punt.
Yeah.
Because the Chieftains get it right back only now with a 1st and 10 at the Muskogee 22-yard line, threatening to add to their 14-3 advantage.
Ruffer defense has really got to get a stop here.
Broughton will be the quarterback. He'll have Levi Jensen as his running back. They'll shift now to an empty backfield, and Broughton will stand in the pocket. Just going to wait, want to throw across the middle, being chased from behind, trying to drag him down. This is Jack Green with the hair extending from the back of their jersey. It was pretty easy for me, Nick, to tell who was giving chase on Broughton. He's going to be stopped.
It's right at the line of scrimmage.
Maybe a yard pickup to the 21, but the clock continued to count away precious seconds off the south end zone scoreboard. 11:07 and counting here in quarter number 2. Chieftains have been quite effective with their offense, Nick, and they've capitalized on the errors of the Ruffers' on both offense and defense here in the first half. Snap is back. Broughton on the stretch play, handing it off on the slash. Inside, this is Michael Bennett. On the carry, he'll break the 20-yard line and power his way down near the 17, it appears. So for a 4-yard pickup on second down, it's 3rd and 5.
Bennett with 51 yards and 5 carries so far.
One of the offensive linemen for the Chieftains going to have to come out.
Gain of 5 on the play, 3rd down, 5.
Personnel groupings changing aplenty. High school football, not like college, Nick, where if you make late offensive personnel changes, the defense has time to react before you can snap the football. You just got to be ready to go. So now Sapulpa with Broughton at quarterback and Bennett as a running back. Twin receivers out the field. Broughton in the pocket, sets up, waits, last minute, throws this one high, but into the wide open hands of Jackson Stone, who split the coverage of the safety in the end zone for the touchdown. But there is Laundry. Wait a minute. Let's see if this one will hold and pull it back. It will.
That's right at the line of scrimmage, and it's a hold.
The jack-o'-lantern smiled on the Ruffers that time, Nick, here on Halloween night. Man, that takes away a touchdown pass for the second time tonight by the Chieftains because of an offensive line grab of the jersey.
Wow, Ruffers so fortunate.
The penalty flag will result in the walk-off and bring it back to the 27. So it's from the spot of the foul and move it back really just 9 yards. But more importantly, it takes a crooked number off the scoreboard and replays a 3rd down and now 15 to go to move the chains. Trio of receivers on the left side. Ruffers adjusting personnel quickly to try and match up. Broughton takes the snap. Just a straight gas route downfield, open in space, making them fumbling the football was Barber. I mean, he had it between 2 Ruffer defenders. Stylen McHenry along with Destin Martin were trying to stay up with the speedy Sapulpa receiver, but the pass falls harmlessly to the turf, and it'll be 4th down and 15.
Sapulpa not having any problem getting their receivers open. Just about every pass that's thrown has either been caught or dropped to a wide open receiver.
Bryce Curran's been the go-to guy, Nick. He's on the slot on the hash here to the left side. Broughton will check the sideline, and Tim Holt's going to call a timeout and think about it. 10:04 left, quarter number 2. Chieftains trying to capitalize on a Muskogee turnover for more points. Leading 14-3. We're back in 30 seconds on Ruffer Football 2025.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Insurance may be what the Ruffers need here, Nick, some protective insurance. And when you need insurance, you need David Cobb. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, whether it's for your home, your life, your car, your place of business. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and count on David Cobb. State Farm Insurance, call 918-682-2511 for the best in insurance coverage. Now 4th and 15 for the Chieftains. Broughton in the pocket, stands tall, steps up, wants to throw underneath, wide open with the catch between tacklers and going into the end zone on the grab. That is Michael Bennett. He was the running back and kind of snuck out underneath the coverage, and Broughton put it on a dime, and Broughton with the completion gets back the touchdown pass that was erased on a holding penalty a moment ago. This one, no Laundry, and it's 6 more for the Chieftains.
And they had one earlier that was a touchdown that was called back by a penalty. So the Chieftains have just had a charmed life, have done nothing wrong so far.
So Bennett gets his second passing touchdown of the night. Madden will try to tack on the PAT that is perfect, and it's quickly 21-3 Sapulpa. 9:56 left here in quarter number 2. Back to Hart Collins Stadium after this 30-second timeout of Ruffer Football in 2025.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
21-3. Yep, that's the score that you see at the bottom of the screen if you're watching online on Rougher TV. If you're listening on Okie Country 1017, yeah, it's still the same 21-3 advantage, but it is the Chieftains of Sapulpa trying to win against the Roughers for the first time since 2018, capitalizing on Muskogee mistakes. Left-footed kicker for the Chieftains will punch this one again up in the night air, and the Roughers will field it on the move. A little stop-and-go effort, and, well, you just can't stop and wait. The Chieftains swarm team downfield quickly.
Demarion Berry, I think, was hurting for the Roughers.
You're right. He'll be tackled at the 30-yard line. So now Muskogee, Nick, has kind of been forced to show its hand offensively. Down by a 21-3 scoreboard advantage.
Last two possessions have been an interception and a fumble by the Roughers, and so they got to find something to go right here on offense for them.
Start from the 30, moving from left to right or from north to south. Chaplin, the running back. Delgado will stand in at quarterback. Twins either side for the junior signal caller. Referee's whistle sounds. Kaysen claps once. Hands on a swing route back to the short side of the field. This is DeCaden, 35-40. DK at the 45. Steps over one tackler and gets his way all the way upfield to the 48-yard line. Talk about quick. Yeah, that's so quick. That was Avon Goodland, Nick, on the reception rather than DK. But nevertheless, he goes from the 33 to the 49, 19 on the swing route, and a Kyle Edwards GMC Rougher first down and 10.
Well, Rougher offense needed that. Quick tempo now by the Roughers.
Back to the line of scrimmage with three receivers on the outside edge, handed off inside to Chaplin. He'll bull past one tackler at the line of scrimmage and drag it across the midfield stripe down to the 48-yard line in enemy territory, leaving a 2nd and 7 situation. 9:20 to play here in quarter number 2. Sapulpa with a 21-3 first half advantage. Beasley and Ford will be the two receivers out on the numbers to the Rougher sideline. Bring DK in front, play action inside. Beasley through a crease inside the 45, the 40, and launches his way downfield to the 37-yard line. That's more than enough to move the sticks. And another Kyle Edwards GMC Rougher first down at 10 as that gain goes from the 48 to the 37, 11 yards for Chap on the carry.
So the Roughers now starting to get some traction.
Delgado waits. He'll swing it out in space. It's caught by Nunu. He eludes one tackler, but then he's wrestled around by the headgear and tossed to the turf. Up quickly for Sapulpa defensively was Carter Mosquito. That's the guy that's, I don't like mosquitoes during the summertime. And my granddaughters, when they come to the house to get in the pool, Papa, get rid of the mosquitoes. Well, Roughers would like to get rid of Carter Mosquito because he ended one drive a moment ago on an interception. 1 yard pickup that time on the pass play to the Rougher receiver. Trips out to the left side. High snap. Delgado's going to throw it back. Good block by Beasley. Upfield through the first wave of blue shirts. Good blocking that time by Jamie Beasley on the play to give DeCaden Ford some space to catch the football. And DK will get it downfield to the 28, excuse me. So it's an 8 yard pickup.
Just short of the first down.
And it'll be 3rd and a yard to go. Roughers now will hurry to the line of scrimmage. On a 3rd and short, have to go to inside the 27. Give it off to Chap. Bounces off one. Cuts back against another, has the first down and change. Look at the determination of this week's Get to Know Ruffers Spotlight. We talked about 6'7" and 5'6". I think that time, Nick, he showed 5's going to get you 6 and a little bit more.
Best run of the night for Chaplain, 11 yards on that down to the 17. First and 10.
Kyle Edwards, GMC Ruffer, first and 10 at the 17-yard line. This drive started at the 30. This will be the 7th play in this series. Beasley will be by himself out to the wide side left. Delgado will again hand it off to Chap, trying to get some blocking up front. See the big, tall body of JoJo Alexander trying to create a lane, but not much room to run as Chaplin will be stopped at the 16. But the clock counting away precious seconds. This drive started at the 9:49 mark, Nick. We're 3 minutes into this possession.
Ruffers have got to get the ball into the end zone here, capitalize on this drive that has been so good so far.
James, Beasley, and Ford, the 3 receivers out to the quarterback's right. Now bring Jamie across in front of the formation. He'll turn, come back near side. They'll roll out. Delgado looks, throws upfield, threw it behind the intended target. Man, Beasley was open short underneath too, but he tried to go for the deeper route to Decaden Ford, threw it at the turf level, incomplete.
Third down now for the Ruffers. 3rd and 9. Need to make something happen here.
See how the Ruffers personnel groupings will adjust. The only benefit of that incomplete pass, Nick, is it did stop the clock with 6:19 to go here in quarter number 2. Again, the trio of receivers out wide to the right. Delgado with Chaplin to his right shoulder. Takes the snap. Play action. Good protection. Casing across the middle to the end zone.
Airmail that one way over.
Yeah, he just airmailed everybody. Beasley was down there, so was Barnowski, but there was just no open territory, and the Ruffers have failed again, Nick, to finish a drive.
So let's see. Are they going to bring Ballalong in here again?
It appears that would be the case.
So this will be about a 32, 33-yard, 34-yard, 33-yard attempt for Ballalong.
Caden Harkin will be the deep snapper. Coda Barnowski will hold, and Zeppelin Ballalong will try just his 2nd field goal of the year. Off the left hash mark, this would be a 33-yard boot for 3. And there's movement up on the offensive line, backing up 5 yards. A timeout was taken. Okay, so the Ruffers called a timeout prior to the flag. So with 6:13 to go here before halftime, the Ruffers spend their 2nd of 3 timeouts. We'll do the same. 21-3 Chieftains, back to Harv Collins Stadium in 30 seconds on Ruffer Football 2025.
Hi folks, Kyle Edwards, GMC in Muskogee. I was born and raised in Muskogee. Our family has owned the GMC dealership for over 50 years. We take great pride in being in the Muskogee community. Things have changed over the years, but one thing remains the same, our desire to take care of our customers. Looking for a new GMC truck or SUV? We've got them, and you have our commitment to give you the best buying experience around. From sales, parts, or service, we are here for you. You have my promise to give you the best selection, best price, and the most for your trade-in at 1600 North Main in Muskogee or KyleEdwardsGMC.com.
Buying or selling real estate? When you're trying to relocate, you need somebody that's been there and handled it with professional expertise. That's when you need Monica Medley and her team at Century 21 First Choice Realty. Whether you're buying or selling a home or a business or just some acreage, make sure you got a professional that can handle all the minor details and make it a seamless transition and get you the best price no matter which side of the fence you stand upon. Call on Monica Medley at Century 21 First Choice Realty in Muskogee whenever you have real estate questions or needs.
Dale Condon's changed his mind, sends the offense back out. 4th and 9 for the Ruffers.
Have to get to the 7-yard line to move the chains. Delgado on a high snap, and we got a penalty whistle sounding here. And what do we got?
Never did see a flag.
I didn't either.
Maybe they just snapped the ball before it was set in play, possibly.
Now the referee blows this whistle. It's kind of like the volleyball referee. And until he blows this whistle, you can't go. coming off a timeout. So 4th and goal to go, 4th and 9. Delgado, chase from the pocket, throws underneath and throws behind the intended target, Marquise Chaplin. And again, the Roughers this time come up empty. It'll be 6:06 on the scoreboard clock left to play here in quarter number 2. Sapulpa with a 21-3 advantage. And Nick Hampton, this has been a Halloween first half that the Roughers would just as soon forget.
It's been much more of a trick than a treat for the Roughers so far tonight, to say the least.
That drive started at the 30 and used 10 plays before fizzling out at the 16-yard line, where the Chieftains will get it back. Looking to add to their first half success.
Second time they've been in the red zone and didn't get a touchdown out of it.
Running back to the right, handed off, bouncing off the first contact before Barnowski and company surround the Chieftain ball carrier, getting back to the line of scrimmage for maybe a yard pickup from the 16 to the 17. But again, the clock counting away, precious time of possession, especially if you're thinking about the Roughers' opportunities to come back and score before halftime.
Roughers did a good job there, much like they did in the early going of stuffing the run right up front in the middle. But so far, Sapulpa's had the answer. Even with those stoppages, they've come up with the big plays.
Now the twin receivers will set out to the left side as Broughton will move the running back over to his right shoulder. He'll take the pass. They want to throw a little bubble screen. This one's short, just thrown up for grabs, and was thrown in the vicinity deep enough, intended for Landon Barber, as Stein and McHenry was in coverage. But it stops the clock and brings up a 3rd and, again, long yardage situation, Nick, needing 9.
Kyron Cope putting the pressure that time, coming in from his defensive end spot, putting the pressure on Broughton, forcing the errant pass.
Tim Holt had a solid 3 years as head coach at Coweta, and then has now moved to Sapulpa, where coming in to play tonight, he's got 29 victories, but his team has got 6 on the season and a perfect 5-0 district mark entering the matchup against the Roughers. 5:20 to play before halftime. Broughton takes the waist-high snap, stands, plenty of pocket. Going to throw it deep. Receivers behind everybody. It's a perfectly thrown catch, and the tackle is made, but it's not before Bryce Curran can just outrun Jamie Beasley to the football and make the catch for the first down at the 40-yard line. Wow.
There's that big play again after the Roughers do a good job on 1st and 2nd down.
43-yard pass completion.
First down, ready by TTC Federal Credit Union.
Bryce Curran on the reception against the Rougher secondary. Clock will continue to run now with 5 minutes left before halftime, but the Chieftains are smelling more points before the halftime break. Broughton with Jensen as the running back. Has a gaping hole up the middle, bounces to the edge, 25, 20, put 6 more. Ooh, there's got to be a hold. Got to be a hold. A driving block in the back by the outside edge receiver as Delgado got pinned to the turf, and Jensen goes the length of the field, goes 40 yards, and Sapulpa has scored again.
Wow. Just cannot do anything wrong tonight.
Delgado got pinned inside, Nick, but then it was a block from behind that I was talking about. But still no penalty flag thrown as the Rougher captains talk about it with the official here on the sideline. But the touchdown's going to stand. Levi Jensen, man, what a gallop. And that offensive line is just beating up on the Rougher defensive front.
And Jensen had an open field, and he broke a couple of tackles along the way as well.
27-3, and now Jack Madden trying to make it a 28-3, but it's a rolling snap. The kick is up. This one still is good. And we'll go to the timeout with 4:45 to play before halftime. Sapulpa now leading 28-3. Maybe Bill Hastings knew something was in the water, Nick, in his prognostication about tonight's outcome. Back in 30 seconds, Chieftains leading the Roughers 28-3. We're back after this on Rougher Football 2025.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. the #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember? ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com. Sapulpa, after its defense holes inside its own 20-yard line, needs only 4 plays to flip the field and go the length for another 6 points. A 43-yard pass from Broughton to Curran set up the 40-yard sprint by Levi Jensen, and turning this one into a lopsided scoreboard in favor of the Chieftains on their senior night celebration, 28-3 at the expense of the Muskogee Ruffers.
That was a 3rd and 9, too, on that long pass play. The Ruffers on the verge of stopping them, only to give up the long pass and then the long run.
So now once again, Madden will approach on the kick. It's another short kick. Ruffers will field it. Trying to go back across the grain with the football. That's Trayshawn Pouncil. Muskogee is going to need a little bit of energy and revitalization, Nick, at halftime. But they've got an opportunity here perhaps to change the swing of the momentum pendulum before the intermission break if they could finish. They've moved the football, Nick, on a couple of occasions.
They've been in the red zone twice, yeah. And had to settle for just 1 field goal and then turn it over on downs.
Actually 3 times if you think about the time they threw the INT.
Yeah, that's right.
So 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. 4:39 to play. High snap over the head of Delgado, and that's one of the problems, and it's loose on the turf. Delgado able to crawl back over it. We talked about injuries creating some personnel changes coming into tonight's ballgame. Hunter Lanier, who strained his MCL, out of action tonight. His backup also out on concussion protocol. So all week long the preparation was to who would be the center. And tonight it would be, in that series, Tavon Yawani in over the center.
17-yard loss on that play.
Back to the 17-yard line. So it's 2nd and now 27 for the young junior quarterback. Snap up around the numbers. Kaysen waits, looks over, left, right, still plenty of time. Now going to throw it upfield over on the edge and just unable to stay in bounds and catch it at the same time was the rougher receiver here on the boundary. That was Marquise Chaplin. Or no, that's DK Ford, excuse me. Decaden Ford. But credit that offensive line, Nick. That time they gave Kaysen plenty of time to look around and try to find an open target. But also credit Sapulpa with blanketing the defensive coverage. So the defensive coordinator, Braxton Waters, his defensive game plan working near perfection. It's now 3rd down at 27.
Delgado 6 of 13 with an interception so far tonight.
Beasley by himself out on the numbers. He'll draw double coverage. Delgado will play action. Sprinting to his right, throws upfield. Decaden Ford, a nice stop and go. He's got the catch at the 42 where he's thrown out of bounds, and they're going to mark it at the 41. But it's short of the line to gain, which was the 44. So the Ruffers needed 27, Nick. They got 24 on the pass completion, but you're now down by a 28-3 score. You got to roll the dice and go for it.
You really do, yeah.
Catch made by Ford was out of bounds, too, so that stopped the clock. So now on a 4th and 3, Delgado with a running back to his right. Chieftains crowd the line of scrimmage as if to say we're going to come with pressure. Now they do late. They throw it in space. It's high and overthrowing Decaden Ford. Kaysen Delgado just too tall on that toss. And the Ruffers will give it back to the Chieftains on the plus side of the 50.
Wow.
At the 41-yard line.
Not what you want to see happen here.
Ruffer football this season brought to you in part by Pioneer Abstract and Title Company, by Bravado Wireless, J. Hodge Chevrolet, by Bank First of Muskogee, along with Cornerstone Funeral Home.
Well, the Chieftains now, with 3:33 left to play here in the first half, have plenty of time to try and knock another one in here.
Chieftains head coach Tim Holt was very outspoken in his conversation with me earlier this year Ruffers going to call a timeout, Nick. They're going to think about what they want to do defensively here. So why don't we do the same? We'll talk about what Tim had to say when we come back on the other side of the timeout. Trip threes on the scoreboard, 3:33 left, 28-3. Sapulpa in command. We're back in 30 seconds on Rougher Football 2025.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton back with you. Nick, we were talking going into the break about the confidence of head coach Tim Holt. He felt like this ball club has matured and wants to come out tonight against the Muskogee Ruffers and prove that they have come of age. I think what we've seen in this first 2 quarters of play, the opportunistic capitalization efforts of the blue and silver, they are ready to play.
They are. Their offensive line has done a good job of creating holes and protecting Broughton pretty well so far tonight.
So a 1st and 10 for Sapulpa after taking over on downs at the Ruffer 41. Broughton will take it. He'll hand it off. Running back coming with blockers in front. Down on the edge at the 35, the 30, and down to the 26-yard line.
Bennett.
Well, they just pull a guard out in front, hand it off, and there's lots of muscle in front leading the way for Michael Bennett. He'll take it from the 41 to where will they put it? The 26. It's a 15-yard run, but yet another 1st and 10 for Sapulpa.
Bennett now with 66 yards on 6 carries.
Offense has just been almost near perfection here in the first half. They'll pull it, hand it off again. Another huge hole with blockers in front. Running just head downfield to the turf. Lost the football on the contact, but Levi Jensen, so says the referee, was down by contact at the 14. So that 12-yard pickup will give the Chieftains 1st and 10 at the Ruffer 14-yard line, threatening again inside the Ruffer red zone.
Just nice big hole opened up for him, and he motors on down.
2:50 and counting here in quarter number 2. Sapulpa trying to get yet a 5th score here in the first half, Nick. Broughton with the running back to his left. That's Koch. They'll hand it off to the muscle guy. He just powers his way. Bull rushes, fumbles the ball. Ruffers recover. The ball is stripped out of the hands of Koch, and it is recovered by Decaden Ford. Oh, there is Mother Nature and the Halloween God smiling on the Muskogee Ruffers.
13-yard run by Jensen, and then he coughs it up on the 1.
So credit the Ruffers with getting a little bit of a break. Now, you take over at the what'll be the 2-yard line next, where they're going to spot it. So we'll call that a 12-yard run before the fumble. Ruffers will have it. Well, they're going to move it back to the 1. So you were right initially. But here's where, with this shotgun offense, you got to be sure you don't get stopped in the end zone.
Right.
Just ask the Oklahoma Sooners, right? 2:31 to play before intermission. Ruffers get gifted a missed opportunity by Sapulpa. Delgado a little late getting out on the field. He'll be about 5 yards deep in the end zone. Pull the guards in front, throw the ball up for grabs. This one is long. It is caught. Beasley, 40, 45 midfield, 35 at the 30. Take it to the house, JB. Put 6 points on the scoreboard. A 99-yard catch and run for the Muskogee Ruffers. Touchdown.
The defender went for the interception and missed it, leaving Beasley with nothing but green turf in front of him after he made the catch.
Well, the Ruffers put it up for grabs, and Delgado is fortunate that Beasley was able to get the defender to gamble. And the result is a 99-yard touchdown pass. Kaysen Delgado to Jamie Beasley. Touchdown, Muskogee Ruffers. Touchdown, James Hodge Chevrolet. Well, that changes your heartbeat just a little bit.
Yes, it does.
And now it'll be Zeppelin ball along to try to make this a 28-10 ball game. Hart into snap. Ball's on the turf. The kick is blocked. As getting through with the big long hand that time was Sequoia Hall to knock the PAT down. But it's a 28-9 ball game, Nick. That's a lot different than 35-3. 2:18 left to go before halftime. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching and listening to Rougher Football 2025. Proudly serving the elderly of the Muskogee community, Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center is a skilled nursing facility empowering better living through long-term care as well as many other respite care options. And coming soon to Broadway, the Memory Care Unit. At Broadway Care Rehabilitation, the amazing therapy department can help you or your loved one get back on their feet. Contracted with most major insurances, follow them on Facebook and see many of the enriching activities offered to the residents. Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center, proud to support the Muskogee Roughers. Tonight and every Friday night, the Ruffers' game plan is for success is always 2020. But what about your vision? That's when you need the expertise of Dr. Kimberly DeRosset. With 25 years experience in Muskogee County helping patients young and old alike, Dr. DeRosset can protect your eyes with the right vision game plan. Kimberly DeRosset, now located at 3505 Chandler Road in Muskogee. Give her a call and work out your vision needs at 918-880-3937.
Here's Ballalong's kick down, taken at the 15.
Chieftains up the middle on the return. This is Bennett. Michael Bennett. And then Ballalong was down helping out on that tackle there, Nick.
So it's at the 30, looks like. It's where they'll spot it.
But you just wonder, can that long pass play, Nick, change the ebb and flow of this game?
Can it impact the defense, get them started, get them with a stop here before halftime?
So now the Chieftains, with 2:13 to go, might opt to be a little more conservative, Nick, and just rely upon a ground game to expire the opening 2 quarters. Broughton will take it. He'll hand off. Ball carrier will power straight ahead off the left side, getting about 2. Kyron Cope was one of the first guys there. Barnowski along with Arias Parrish really like the efforts every day in practice and certainly in game of the Ruffers senior middle linebacker Arias Parrish. Nicky only stands 5'11", $180, but he is a muscle man when it comes to making tackles.
Chieftains taking their time now, looking at the sideline as the clock ticks in, running down close to a minute and a half now.
Chieftains will put a pair of receivers along with the tight end to the left. Sniffer back also on that left side. Broughton will turn. He'll hand it off. And the Ruffers off the backside come sneaking through the back door and crash the party. And a good defensive effort that time by one of the Ruffers. And that for Muskogee was Destin Martin.
Loses a yard.
As a result, there's a Sapulpa Chieftain injured on the play, stopping the clock with 1:16 to go. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Rougher Football here in 2025.
Have you been injured as the result of a car accident? Has your family been impacted by the death of a loved one caused by someone else's negligence? Whatever you're dealing with, you don't have to face it alone. At 222 Injury Lawyers, our dedicated personal injury attorneys are here to fight for the justice and compensation you deserve. Call 918-528-0222.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton here with you on this week number 9 of Rougher Football on the road here at Harv Collins Stadium. And while the facilities here at this stadium, Nick, are very, very good, at least from our broadcast space, the action on the field has not been the favor of the Ruffers as they find themselves down 28-9, and it could have been worse.
Oh, yeah. So Broughton comes out. He'll have Koch as the running back this time.
Jensen was the injured player. I think he might have just got the wind knocked out of him. Loss of 2 on that preceding play. So it's 3rd and 9. Broughton with his receiving package to the boundary left out on the numbers. Watching the play clock wind inside of a minute. Play game clock. Now the play clock down to 2, now to 1, and that they're going to call a timeout. So Sapulpa will do the same. They'll take a break. We'll just keep it right here.
Timeout, Sapulpa.
And Nick, when you're caring for the elderly, sometimes family members, or doesn't have to be old, you just may have some sort of injury that you're needing medical equipment of some kind. You need pros that know not only the right equipment, but they also know how to show you how to use it, how to make it an easy effort for your rehabilitation. That's when you need the team at Alpine Medical Supply in Muskogee. One of the most frequently asked questions at Alpine is from those individuals who are dealing with CPAP machines. It doesn't work. I can't sleep with it. I don't know how to set it up. Those are just a few of the questions that get asked each and every day at Alpine. And that's why the professionals there can help you feel more confident when you return to your home and you go to bed, you put the mask on, and you get a good night's sleep, thanks to the help of Alpine Medical Supply. Let them help you with all your medical supply needs. Alpine Medical Supply on North Main of Muskogee, proud to be a part of Rougher football.
Big third down play here for the Rougher defense, 3rd and 9 from the 31.
Little off-balance set with twin receivers back on the battery. This time Ruffers blitz it, and getting back there was Kyron Cope. He met the ball carrier on the handoff. And he stuffed Koch back in the backfield, back at the 27-yard line. The Ruffers have no way of stopping the clock, Nick, so there'll be about 3 seconds left when the Chieftains will either punt it or just take a knee. As if they will, I don't think even snap the football. They don't have any timeouts either. They may opt to just let the play clock run all the way to 0. That's a loss of 4 yards on the play. So it'll be 4th down and 13. Tim Holt and his quarterback are just still standing and talking about where they want to go trick-or-treating after this game is over. And that'll stop the clock with 3 seconds left here before intermission. And if I were in Vegas, I would put a lot of money on the blue that he's going to take a snap and kneel down.
Well, I would assume, there we go. I was going to say, where's the walk-off? Okay.
Now the official is coming over and asking the official to reset the clock. I think they're going to put it at 4, maybe 4.1. They'll use hand signals to get that one communicated to the press box. So they back it up.
4.3.
A full 1 second to make it 4.3 seconds left, but it's still one of those plays, Nick, where you can either hand it off or you can just take a snap and backpedal a couple paces and quickly put your knee on the turf.
Well.
Or you could throw the deep ball and hope to get a home run.
And that wouldn't surprise me, the way that Sapulpa has played tonight.
A delay of game penalty is going to be enforced to get the Chieftains, so it'll back it up 5 yards further. Put the ball back now at the 22-yard line.
No, I think that's the first one. They just never gave a signal.
Right.
Yeah.
Broughton will take the snap. He'll stand in the pocket. He's going to throw underneath. Barber has the catch at the 30. A little shake and bake move against Delgado. He gets some help from the backside from Arias Parrish, and the first half comes to a close on the pass completion upfield of the 41-yard line. But Sapulpa has had its way. They've had their cake. They've eaten it too. But the Ruffers got one big play before halftime to kind of turn that emotion of energy as we come to halftime break. 28-9, Chieftains trying to go 6-0. Ruffers will have to come from behind in the second half to try to stay in the top 2 in District 2 of 6A football. 28-9 is our halftime score. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout, and when we come back on the other side, it'll be time to meet this week's TTCU Teacher of the Game. But first, this timeout of 3 minutes on Rougher Football 2025.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
This land was a tapestry of Indian nations and tiny towns that grew into great cities. Bank First is loyal to the shared mission of growth and success that built Oklahoma. That's why in more than 50 communities statewide, our banks are run by local leaders who stick together and work hard. to continue unlocking Oklahoma's great promise. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma, loyal to you.
At J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. Shop Silverados, Trailblazers, Colorados, and more. More new Chevys and top dollar for trade-in. 144 West Shawnee.
Ugh, my brother and sister left me again. They went back to school. Can you believe that? But don't worry, they still call me every morning, thanks to their brand new phones from Bravado Wireless. My sister even dropped hers in the pool. But Bravado's trade-in help has her covered. And my brother, he's flexing with the new iPhone 16 Pro Max. Like, how cool is that? Mom and Dad got deals too. Bravado's unlimited plan saved the whole family money.
At J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. Shop Silverados, Trailblazers, Colorados, and more. More new Chevys and top dollar for trade-in. 144 West Shawnee.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905, serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Brunt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts, Brunt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken, where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Brunt's Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Brunt's Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
Please join us in welcoming to the field.
Welcome back on Rougher Football 2025 tonight here from Sapulpa at Harv Collins Stadium. We come to halftime, and it's time to recognize this week's TTCU Federal Credit Union Teacher of the Game. This week's award-winning educator is Heather Rogers. Through her unique approach to learning, Heather Rogers creates a thirst for knowledge as she interacts with the students teaching psychology and sociology classes as part of the Rougher Innovations Academy, which is a blended learning environment offering students grades 9 through 12 the best hybrid learning, including self-paced, internet-based instruction, along with face-to-face support, socialization, and extracurricular activities. The students in my classes make this educational opportunity more than just a job. These kids at Muskogee High make learning fun every day, said Rogers, who's now in her 8th year as an instructor in the Muskogee school system. My students are full of energy, sometimes a little ornery, but each one of them in their own way has a thirst for learning. I have the opportunity to spend more one-on-one time than in a traditional classroom environment by meeting with the kids in face-to-face encounters, getting to know their likes and dislikes, learning about their families, as well as their personal goals. Heather Rogers, along with her husband of 35 years, Troy, have 2 children, Scott and Alex, who, by the way, is a senior this year at Muskogee High School, enrolled in ECHS, the Early College High School Learning Program, which allows students to pursue academic excellence through a rigorous course study and earn an associate's degree through Connors State College, while at the same time gaining their high school diploma. When she's not active supporting the various activity of her students, Heather Rogers enjoys spending time with her family on one of their weekend travel getaways.
Hi, my name is Heather Rogers. I am a teacher at Ruffers Innovations Academy, and I have been teaching in the Muskogee District for 8 years. I've been with Ruffers Innovations for the last 5 years, and on the Muskogee campus for the last 2 years. The thing that I find the best about Ruffer Nation are the students. They are engaging and funny and smart and incredibly eager to learn with just a little bit of encouragement. I couldn't ask for a better district to have started out my teaching career, and I hope I'll get to end my teaching career here. I've had a great time here and I love it. And green is my favorite color, so it works out.
Her students, as well as everyone else that knows her, all agree that Heather Rogers is a difference maker at Muskogee High School. Someone whose passion for learning is helping her students through the Rougher Innovations Academy achieve victory every day. We thank TCCU for supporting our outstanding educators at Muskogee. Join us in congratulating Heather Rogers, this week's TTCU Federal Credit Union Teacher of the Game. She now, along with the other 8 previous winners and next week's Week 10 winner, will now become eligible for the TTCU Rougher Football Teacher of the Year honors to be handed out later this year. Congratulations, Heather Rogers, this week's TTCU Teacher of the Game. Back to Sapulpa. Ruffers trailing the Chieftains by the count of 28-9 at the intermission. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Nick Hampton has all the statistics and more. We continue Rougher Football in 3 minutes on Rougher Football 2025.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Folks, Kyle Edwards, GMC in Muskogee. I was born and raised in Muskogee. Our family has owned the GMC dealership for over 50 years. We take great pride in being in the Muskogee community. Things have changed over the years, but one thing remains the same, our desire to take care of our customers. Looking for a new GMC truck or SUV? We've got them, and you have our commitment to give you the best buying experience around. From sales, parts, or service, we are here for you. You have my promise to give you the best selection, best price, and the most for your trade-in at 1600 North Main in Muskogee or KyleEdwardsGMC.com.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember? ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Back at Harp College Stadium on Rougher Football 2025, Muskogee in a bit of a hole, trailing the Chieftains 28-9 here on Sapulpa's senior night. And Nick, for the seniors of head coach Tim Holt, this has been a Halloween that has brought more treats than tricks.
It has, and the Ruffers just have not been able to do much right and have shot themselves in the foot repeatedly with penalties. So looking at the statistics here in this first half, for the Ruffers, they had 7 first downs in the first half. They rushed 13 times for 46 yards, and they passed for 156 yards, 7 of 16 passing for Cason Delgado, 1 interception and 1 touchdown. So the Ruffers with 202 yards of offense here in the first half. They did have 1 fumble, and they had 6 penalties, most of those occurring within the first 5 or 6 minutes of the first quarter, leading particularly to the first touchdown of the evening for Sapulpa. 6 penalties for 40 yards. Chaplin, the leading ball carrier for Muskogee, 8 carries for 19 yards tonight. And Beasley, the leading receiver, has 3 receptions for 117 yards. Of course, 99 of those coming on that long touchdown pass from Delgado. For the Sapulpa Chieftains, they have 21 rushes on the game for 145 yards. They've passed for 142 yards, 5 of 14, so not great numbers for Broughton, but he's made the connections when he's needed to. 5 of 14 passing, 1 interception, and 2 touchdowns tonight. 287 yards in total for these Chieftains in his first half, and they had 4 penalties for 40 yards. Chinson and Bennett, we talked a little bit in the pregame about kind of a running back by committee for the Chieftains, and that's kind of what they've had. Those two guys both have 66 yards rushing. And Barber, the leading receiver, with 3 receptions for 72 yards and a touchdown this evening. So those are a look at the numbers. For the other scores, let's take a look at some of the scores from around this area. In Class 6A2 tonight, Stillwater leading Piedmont by a score of 14-0. Sand Springs ahead of Putnam City North, who will be the opponent for senior night next Friday night at Ruffer Village. They lead 20-0 at halftime. Bartlesville all over Putnam City West, 41-0. Southmore leading Putnam City tonight, 17-7. Choctaw drilling Lawton Eisenhower, 58-3. And Northwest Classen and U.S. Grant tied at 14 apiece. In 6A1, Bixby continues their domination. They lead Deer Creek 44-15 at halftime in that game. Mustang ahead of Norman 28-15. It is Owasso leading Norman North 28-0. Jenks pounding Enid 51-6. Broken Arrow ahead of Edmond Memorial 16-7. Yukon on top of Santa Fe, Edmond Santa Fe 29-7, and Union leading Westmore 44-7. Class 5A, a couple of scores. Durant shutting out McAllister tonight, 14-0. Tahlequah all over Tulsa Rogers, 43-6. Big game for Fort Gibson tonight, playing number 3 ranked Cushing, and they trail Cushing 14-10. Hilldale battling to try and stay in the playoff picture, trailing Poto tonight, 22-7. Wagner ahead of Skytook, 14-0, and Salisaw on top of Stillwell, 42-0. Here at Harv Collins Field, 28-9 is our score. Muskogee Ruffers trailing the Sapulpa Chieftains. We'll be back with more of our halftime after this 3-minute timeout. You're watching Ruffer TV.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Have you been injured as the result of a car accident? Has your family been impacted by the death of a loved one caused by someone else's negligence? Whatever you're dealing with, you don't have to face it alone. At 222 Injury Lawyers, our dedicated personal injury attorneys are here to fight for the justice and compensation you deserve. Call 918-528-0222.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
This land was a tapestry of Indian nations and tiny towns that grew into great cities. Bank First is loyal to the shared mission of growth and success that built Oklahoma. That's why in more than 50 communities statewide, our banks are run by local leaders who stick together and work hard to continue unlocking Oklahoma's great promise. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma, loyal to you.
At J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. Shop Silverados, Trailblazers, Colorados, and more. More new Chevys and top dollar for trade-in. 144 West Shawnee.
Ugh, my brother and sister left me again. They went back to school. Can you believe that? But don't worry, they still call me every morning, thanks to their brand new phones from Bravado Wireless.
My sister even dropped hers in the pool, but Bravado's trade-in help has her covered.
And my brother, he's flexing with the new iPhone 16 Pro Max. Like, how cool is that? Mom and Dad got deals too. Bravado's unlimited plan saved the whole family money.
At J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. Shop Silverados, Trailblazers, Colorados, and more. More new Chevys and top dollar for trade-in. 144 West Shawnee.
Welcome back to Harp Collins Stadium in Sapulpa, where at intermission the Muskogee Ruffers in the dressing room, Nick, have got to be wondering, can you put Humpty back together again? Because the Ruffers' egg fell off the wall here tonight in Sapulpa in the first half.
I tell you what, it's the Ruffers shot themselves in the foot in the first quarter or so with a bunch of penalties, resulting in Sand Springs being able to score on their first possession.
That's a perfect example of how this game has gone. I mean, you've got third down and 9. They throw a pass that's way overthrown, but there's pass interference call, so that moves it to the 41. Then after a stop and another incompletion, it's back-to-back offsides by the defensive line jumping. That created another first down, and then yet another no-yard pickup on first down, and then get burned on the 49-yard touchdown pass from Broughton to Barber to make it a 7-0 ball game. Then your offense comes back, starting from its 34. You drive all the way down the field, Nick, using a pass interference call along with 7 plays to go from your 34 to the 2, but then you lose a yard. Then you get a false start penalty that backs it up. You throw the third down pass that's incomplete, you have to settle for 3 points. That's a win for the defense. And all of a sudden, Sapulpa is enjoying the first quarter. They start the next series from their 20 and don't waste any time. Back-to-back gallops of 24 and 23 to go from one end at the 20 to the 33 on the other. And then 6 plays later, Koch would finish off the 80-yard march in 8 plays on a 5-yard touchdown run, making it 14-3 with 54 seconds left. Then, with the ball at the 33-yard line, the Ruffers throw the ball and have it intercepted. Carter Mosquito with the INT. The Ruffers defense would hold and get the ball back after they stop and hold Sapulpa, and the ball goes out of bounds on the punt at the 9-yard line. But then the Ruffers give it right back to Sapulpa, and the Chieftains start from the 22-yard line after a fumble that was recovered. And don't waste any time. Broughton to Bennett, this time on the touchdown pass, and it was 21-3. Muskogee would put together another impressive drive, Nick, going from its own 30, picking up 3 moves of the chains of first downs, getting all the way to the 17-yard line on a 1st and 10. But after only a 1-yard pickup on first down, throw 3 incomplete passes and turn it over on downs. And that seemed to say, oh, my goodness, how fun it is on Halloween night here at Harp Collins Stadium for the Chieftains. They start from their 16-yard line and get a 43-yard pass from Broughton to Curran to put it to the Muskogee 40. And perhaps the Ruffers just gasping for some air, Nick, looking for something to do defensively, rest momentarily. And that's when Levi Jempson pops through a gaping hole and gallops 40 yards for the touchdown. The Ruffers go 3 and out, give it back to Sapulpa. They get it downfield and look like they're going to score on Koch's long run, but the ball is fumbled away just upfield from the goal line where it's recovered at the 1-yard line. And Muskogee, it's really its only true celebration of the first half when on the first play from scrimmage, Cason Delgado throws the ball up for grabs to Jamie Beasley. The defensive back gambles for the INT, doesn't get it. Beasley with the easy catch. With the long stride and quickness of the senior wideout for the Ruffers, it's a 99-yard gallop to the end zone, and that gives us our halftime score of 28-9. But really not a lot to be too emotional or excited about as far as the Ruffers results. However, Nick, they will get the football to start the third quarter, so perhaps they can start something quick because the way this game has been played with managing the clock by Sapulpa, Muskogee's not going to get too many chances to have the football unless they get some kind of a takeaway.
That's exactly right. Then the time eating up by Sapulpa with those drives that they've had tonight. They're a run-oriented team anyway, and so that's what they've done. And they've eaten up a lot of time with the clock. So the Roughers, when they come out, they'll need to get something done on that first possession, if at all possible, and kind of get back in this game and not let Sapulpa get control of the football and eat up the clock.
Now, just looking ahead, I mean, let's take it from the situation as it stands now. The Roughers suffered their second district loss. That would put them at 4-2 with one game remaining next week at home against Putnam City North on Muskogee Senior Night. Coming into play tonight, Sand Springs was on top with Sapulpa at perfect 5-0, each with the maximum 75-plus points. Putnam City North, with their loss last night, or actually they're playing tonight at Sand Springs, and you think they're going to come up on the short end of the scoreboard. But Ponca City, Nick, gets the win last night over Capitol Hill, overwhelmingly 69-0. Right now, the Wildcats are sitting pretty solid in the catbird seat for the number 4 spot in the district. 3 and 4 get a home field advantage in the first round of playoffs. But keep in mind, in 6A2 football and in 6A1, 6 teams advance. Teams 1 and 2 in each district get a bye the first week. 3 and 4 play the opposite districts 5 and 6. 3 plays 6 and 4 plays 5. So that would put the Roughers against the number 6 team if they were the third place finisher. And right now that would be, just as they stand coming into play tonight, that would be Northwest Classen. If the Roughers end up as the number 4 team in the district, that would put them against either Southmore or Choctaw. And you had a score in that game, Southmore and Putnam City, that kind of surprised me a little bit, with Southmore leading the Pirates in the first half.
Right, yeah, exactly right, yeah.
And Stillwater was out in front of Piedmont. Northwest Classen was at U.S. Grant. Choctaw at Lawton Eisenhower. You would expect the Yellow Jackets to get a win there, and they've got pretty much an easier route next week as well. So still a lot of decisions to be made, but for the Roughers, it's 2 quarters of football. Do you want to take a bye in the first round of the playoffs if you were to get a win, come back and get a win here tonight, and then finish it up next week against Putnam City North, have a week to rest and recover and prepare? Or do you want to just have to play with your backs to the wall and go 4 straight games in playoff football? That's what most teams in other classes in 5A and down have to do, play consecutive. There is no off week.
Right.
But the Roughers still do have playoff options available, don't get me wrong, but certainly would be nice to have that week of rest after the regular season.
And they will probably have a home game, so that will help as well. But like you said, they're going to have to play probably an additional game unless they could come back. Now, put it on the other hand, if they could come back and win this game, talk about a big momentum going into next week against Putnam City North, and then have a bye week if they could pull that off. That would be a great momentum builder for the Roughers going into that third round of the playoffs.
It would also put the onus on Sapulpa to have to beat Sand Springs if they want to get that home field advantage and the bye in the first round of the playoffs. So still a lot of marbles to be shot throughout the remainder of this football season. But, Nick, I don't know, maybe I'm just a little bit hard-nosed and hard-hearted, and not hard-hearted, but soft-hearted and emotional when it comes to Muskogee Roughers and how hard these young men work each and every day throughout the season, the coaches as well as the players in preparing them irregardless of the score. We've seen the success the past 3 years and how the legion of Rougher fans would support them, not only at home, where the crowds at home have been good this season, but the numbers that have traveled on the road tonight. And I know there's lots of other things going on this Friday night, Halloween, trick-or-treats, and it's really a first cold night of the football season here tonight at Harv Collins. But quite frankly, to use the words of Pat Jones, quite frankly, Nick Hampton, I'm a bit disappointed in the turnout of the Rougher Nation tonight to support these young men who are fighting to come back and find themselves into a first-round bye and heading into the playoffs.
Well, it is a little disappointing to see them. And like I say, it's kind of cold, and probably a lot of trick-or-treaters that's kind of upset plans to be able to attend a football game possibly. But in any event, the Roughers have got to find a way to get the offense going here in this third quarter and get a spark, get something going, because it's been just frankly, kind of a horrendous first half for the Ruffers.
I do want to credit, though, the efforts of that student group that you can see them, Nick. They're hanging over the rails, whether the Ruffers are at home or not. That student group is so high energetic. Most of them tonight putting on a little warmer gear. Normally they're shirt without a shirt. They've got the green and white striped overalls. The cheerleaders and the pom squad do such a great job to create an energy on the sideline. They bring the boom box. They play this little fight song. They try to create an energy boost of emotion to support the football team, whether they play at home or away. So Kaya feels you and your spirit team group and that student energy group there that is ever present wherever there's rougher sports activities. Men and women, young men and women, you are doing a great job in supporting your team, and I would encourage the rougher fans of the Muskogee area to do the same thing. Of course, we also like having a big crowd on Rougher TV and on Okie Country 101.7. But nevertheless, we've got 2 quarters of play left to go tonight here in Sapulpa. The Chieftains hoping to celebrate on their senior night and trick-or-treat Halloween. They hold a 28-9 advantage over the Muskogee Ruffers. When the second half begins, the Ruffers will have the football to start the third quarter. We'll do that when we return to Harv Collins Stadium. 28-9, Sapulpa on top of the Muskogee Ruffers. We pause for this 2-minute timeout on Rougher Football 2025.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Brunt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts, Brunt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken, where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Brunt's Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Brunt's Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Back with you here at Harv Collins Field in Sapulpa, where the Ruffers trailing the Sapulpa Chieftains 28-9 in what has become a very, very lengthy halftime activity here. It's senior night here at Sapulpa, so they did cheerleaders and football players and some of the other folks before the game, and now here at halftime of this one they're doing the band and some of the other folks as well. So it's a very lengthy halftime that we're going through here. Let's take a look at some of the other scores, see if we've got any changes as far as scores. In 6A2, Choctaw still way out in front of Lawton Ike, 65-19. That game now in the fourth quarter. Stillwater having a little bit of a problem tonight with Piedmont, 14-6. That game's close in the fourth quarter with 7 minutes to play. U.S. Grant's got on top of Northwest Classen, 22-14. Sand Springs, no problem in the third quarter with Putnam City North, 35-0. Southmore continues to lead Putnam City, 25-14. That game about halfway through the third quarter. And Bartlesville comfortably on top of Putnam City West, 41-0. That game now in the third quarter as well.
Nick, how many times have you gone on the road and the hometown band plays the visiting team's fight song? I mean, listen to this.
Yes.
Well, it just so happens that it's the same tune that is the celebratory song of the Sapulpa Chieftains, and I think it's the same one at Jinx, and it's also the same one at Tahlequah and many other schools around the state of Oklahoma, but nobody does it any better than the Rougher Regiment or the cheer squad that's over there with their big boom bops trying to create an emotional lift to the Roughers here in Sapulpa on this Halloween night. Go back some more scores.
4A, Hilldale has now come back. They were trailing pretty good there at the halftime, but they've now come back against Poto and trailed 22-21. That game halfway through the third quarter. The Hornets trying to stay in the playoff chase. Ada has no problem tonight with Glenpool, 35-0. Fort Gibson now has come back to take the lead on Cushing, 17-14, that game in the third quarter.
That's a Tiger battle there. The Cushing Tigers, Fort Gibson Tigers.
Cushing ranked third in the state in 4A. And Wagner on top of Skytook, 20-7.
Some would call that an upset.
And Grove having no problem with Talala Ulaga, 70-17.
Well, so that Kevin Hogue doesn't come down here and correct me, I'm going to correct you. That's Ulaga Talala.
Well, I understand, yeah.
Okay.
I looked at it backwards.
I just don't want Kevin to hold that against me when we play golf next spring. But 28-9 is the halftime score of the Muskogee Roughers, who will have the opening kick here for the third quarter. Sapulpa's halftime break was extended more than the time normally allowed as the Chieftains continued their warm-up sprints on the south end zone. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton here with you on this week number 9. Next Friday night, it'll be senior night. It'll be also the opportunity that, as we've done each and every week, recognize another one of the TTCU teachers of the game. And, Nick, we're going to introduce all 10 of those winners next Friday night in some pregame ceremonies. Ron Morton and his crew from TTCU will be on hand, and they'll present those awards to the weekly winners. And then in the playoffs, whether that's week number 1 or after a bye, week number 2, we'll name our TTCU Teacher of the Year as far as Rougher football is concerned. But certainly we want to invite everybody out, celebrate with the graduating seniors. There's 23 Rougher footballers. There's 8 managers on this year's squad to go along with the cheer squad, the dance team, the junior ROTC, as well as the band and flag corps. So it'll be a night to celebrate at Rougher Village. We hope we can flash the lights and honk the horns time after time after time. Now the Roughers got some catching up to do, Nick, 28-9 as we begin the third quarter.
Well, you got to think that the Chieftains are coming out flying high after that first half. They kind of pushed the Roughers around. I think Muskogee really caught off guard by the running game, even though, Sapulpa has banked running game so far this year, but they've pretty well gashed the Roughers in terms of running and passing when they needed to make some big plays to keep drives alive or score.
So now they're trying to hurry things up a bit, and Sapulpa kind of just extending the halftime even further, having some trouble getting the kicking tee out on the field.
So they get out there now. The official says, come on, let's get with it, and Jack Madden tees it up to kick it off for the Chieftains.
Jim Platter, you don't have to worry about how long halftime is next week because we saw an example that it can be 30 minutes if you just set it up that way. Here's a deep kick. Be fielded on a fair catch signaled at the 28-yard line. Trayshawn Pouncil making the catch at the 28. So that's where Muskogee will start 1st and 10. Now, talking with the offensive coaches here in the booth next door to us, Nick, during that last timeout, look for the Roughers to go more tempo, try to speed up the pace of play. You hope that leads to the short routes, the moving of the sticks, and create some sort of exhaustion for this hungry and attacking defense of the Sapulpa Chieftains.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to go much more to the air and maybe the short passing game to find some success.
Delgado out of the gun. Going to hand it off to Decaden Ford trying to get to the edge. DK is slowed, and he got smothered and covered back at the 20-yard line. They'll say his forward progress was the 21, but credit the defensive front of the Sapulpa Chieftains just not allowing the Roughers to turn the corner. And strung that one out from one hash mark to the other with a legion of blue coming in support. They'll mark it back from the 28 to the 21. It'll be second down and 17. 11:30 to play here in quarter number 3, down 28-9. Trips out wide to the right. Casey Delgado takes the high snap, stands in his pocket, throws underneath across the middle. This was almost picked off. Linebackers were dropping in coverage, and getting a hand up on it was Jackson Mills. The game film study of the Chieftains, Nick, has been near picture perfect because they've dropped into lanes and created that zone coverage, and it's just been hard for Delgado to find an open receiver. That one was almost picked off as well.
He had time that time to throw, and he's been off and on under pressure somewhat tonight as well. So Sapulpa's done a pretty good job in pass defense.
Kiana James, along with Avon Goodland, will be the pair of receivers to the wide side right. Bring Decay in motion, throw back to the high side, and leaping high to try to catch it.
Incomplete.
It is incomplete. So the Ruffers' first possession on the first opportunity to move the chains goes awry as the pass for Chaplin was incomplete. Just doesn't appear that Cason Delgado has found any type of in sync here tonight, Nick.
7 of 18 passing now for Delgado.
So the ball will be placed back at the 21-yard line. Now, hold on. We may have had a penalty on this last play, Nick.
Well, the referee coming over. Yep. Personal foul against Sapulpa.
So a 15-yard personal foul against the Ruffers. Now, I don't know what the flag is. Tim Holtz asking the referee tonight for an explanation. The white hat this evening is Rick Boswell. His other officiating partners, Elliott Smith, Trey Housel. That's John Housel, Trey Howell, and Matthew Boland. So a 1st and 10 for the Ruffers by penalty. Kyle Edwards, GMC Ruffer, first down and 10. That'll put it at the 36-yard line. Clock won't start until the snap of the football. Heitch, or rather it is Chaplin, the running back. Beasley is one of 2 receivers to the wide side right. I got to wonder why that wasn't offside like it was in the first half when that defensive lineman crossed the line of scrimmage. Didn't make contact, but now the long cadence by the Ruffers. It's a high snap. Delgado keeps it. He just lost the football. It was ripped out of his hands by the defensive lineman of the Sapulpa Chieftains, Camden George. It was a high snap to Case, and he never really got secure possession of it. And Camden George just rips it out of his hands, and the junior defensive end on the takeaway gives Sapulpa the football back at the 21.
Wow, you got to be kidding me. When it rains, it pours, and it is poured on the Ruffers tonight.
Well, that one was a mishandled snap from start to finish, and then just the takeaway on the strip. So the ball will be at the 22-yard line in Muskogee territory. Sapulpa with it here with 10:52 to play in quarter number 3. Chieftains with Broughton, the quarterback. Waits, pulls it, throws it in space. Underneath Barber, little shake and make move. Stylen McHenry just got left looking inside. The receiver went outside. He dances his way 22 yards for 6 points.
Oh, no. Just not what the Ruffers were looking for to start this third quarter.
Broughton, his third touchdown pass of the night. Barber again with the reception. And the Chieftains have hung 34 on the scoreboard, a PAT away from a 35-0 advantage here on Halloween Friday night.
Third turnover by the Ruffers tonight on that fumble. Wow.
More like Friday the 13th than Halloween.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What was it they said in hee-haw? Pain, despair, and agony.
Despair and agony on me.
Here's a bad snap. The Chieftains pick it up. They convert the PAT. It's good.
That just tells you everything you ought to know. Bad snap, and they still make the point out of it.
10:45 left, quarter number 3, 35-9. Chieftains on top. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Ruffer Football 2025.
Folks, Kyle Edwards, GMC in Muskogee. I was born and raised in Muskogee. Our family has owned the GMC dealership for over 50 years. We take great pride in being in the Muskogee community. Things have changed over the years, but one thing remains the same, our desire to take care of our customers. Looking for a new GMC truck or SUV? We've got them, and you have our commitment to give you the best buying experience around. From sales, parts, or service, we are here for you. You have my promise to give you the best selection, best price, and the most for your trade-in at 1600 North Main in Muskogee or KyleEdwardsGMC.com.
Back at Harv Collins Stadium, Sapulpa with visions, Nick, of a matchup a week from tonight at Sand Springs, the 100th meeting between those two teams, and it's the way the scoreboards read right now, it'll be for the outright district championship. Blue and silver against black and gold. You think there won't be some emotions there next Friday night?
Boy, absolutely. Highway 97 battle. It's already a big rivalry anyway.
Yeah, that just tells me there'll be a lot more hanky-panky going on between Saturday and next Friday as well. Here's the ensuing kickoff. Ruffers kick it deep. It'll be fielded. This is by Nuno James. He turns to come up the field, and as he does, Nick, he loses his footing. And as he's going down, he lost the football, but he's able to recover it. And the Ruffers will get it back at their 32-yard line. But as if a 28-9 advantage wasn't enough to overcome, now it's 35-7. And you've got sharks swimming in the water here at Harv Collins Stadium wearing a defensive helmet for the blue and silver.
Boy, you do. And the Ruffers just have to be totally distraught at this point about trying to get back in this game.
10 minutes, 40 seconds left to go here in quarter number 3. Jason Delgado having a little chat with the referee. Here's the snap, the whistle. Caden Ford going in motion. The snap will go to Kaysen. He'll hand it off up the middle to Chaplin, who just powers straight ahead and forces the play upfield. He'll get across the 35 from the 32 to the 38, a net of six yards on the play. 2nd and 4, but 6 yards at a pop, Nick's not going to get enough. You're going to have some big strikes.
Ruffers kind of up the tempo here a little bit.
Delgado this time going to stand in the pocket, going to throw it in space up the field. Jamie's got it. 40, 35. Beasley change gears. 20, 15, 10, 5. Beasley to the house for the second time tonight, and the Ruffers strike quickly. 62-yard pass and run combination. 99 in the first half, 62 here. Touchdown Ruffers, touchdown James Hodge Chevrolet.
Well, that certainly helps get things turned around after that opening series and the fumble and the easy touchdown by Sapulpa. Delgado and Beasley hook up once again for the long touchdown, and now ball along with the extra point try.
10:04 left to play here in the third quarter. Not going to chase any points here, Nick, when you're down this far. Barnowski to hold, Harkin to snap the PAT try. The ball is down, the kick is up, and it is good. Ruffers center just kind of got bull rushed there too, which is not something you're supposed to be able to get by with, but the PAT is good. It's 35-16, Ruffers trailing Sapulpa tonight here at Harv Collins Stadium. Back in 30 seconds. You're watching and listening to Ruffer Football in 2025.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember, ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com. 2 plays, 68 yards. Of course, the 62-yard touchdown pass and run combination. Kaysen Delgado to Jamie Beasley. His second long touchdown reception of the night. And the Ruffers have cut the margin to 35-16.
I think that's going to be indicative of what the Ruffers are going to have to try and do for the rest of this ball game, and try to keep the ball out of Sapulpa's hands so they don't eat up clock.
Ball along to approach the kick. He'll knock it deep. Chieftains will backpedal it, field it inside their own 5, come up the left side across the 20, the 25, the 30, still on his feet, has an open lane, and this one is going to the house.
Michael Bennett, about 96 yards, I'm thinking.
And I see no pink laundry anywhere. Boy, you talk about snuffing out the candle in one quick motion. Bennett goes 97 yards with the kickoff return. And the Chieftains strike like a rattlesnake from under the bushes.
Wow, just defense, special teams, just almost nothing's gone right for the Ruffers tonight. Wow.
Once he got to the edge, Nick, you could see nothing but a cast of blue protecting the boundary, and Bennett showed his quickness to outrace all would-be tacklers. Last time he was ever really touched was about the 22, wasn't it? Or was he ever touched? Getting through that cast of coverage. Jack Madden will be on to try to nail down another snap that's wide to the left, but is picked up quickly by the holder and put on the tee, and the kick is good. 42-16 Chieftains, showing they've got offense, defense, and special teams. They have the advantage over the Muskogee Ruffers. We return in 30 seconds in Ruffer Football 2025.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton with you. You get a little bit hopeful, Nick, that there's a spark of opportunity after that big 62-yard touchdown pass, only to have it totally erased. It's like you came in and just stripped everything out of the computer database on that 97-yard kickoff return. 42-16 is now the Chieftains will kick off. This time they'll kick it a little bit deeper, and the Ruffers will field it at about the 20. Trying to find some place to go, and there's just no escape route this time for Nunu James. Chieftain special teams doing a great job, Nick, in kick coverage and then in kick returns.
So they'll start at the 30 for 25.
Yes. Still with 9:45 to play here in the third quarter. We've had 3 scores in less than just over 2 minutes of play.
Yeah.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton here with you on this week number 9 of Ruffer Football. See how the Ruffers will pick their poison here against the Chieftains defense. Delgado returns the quarterback, Chaplin the running back, 2 wide receivers out on the hash to the far left side. 4-man front of the Chieftains. Adjusting, pass out in space, caught again. This is Beasley. Kind of secured that one with one hand around the hip and wrapped it under his arm and sprints upfield, going from the 25 to the 36, 11 yards on the pass and run. Kyle Edwards, GMC Ruffer, first down and 10. Ruffers now quickly to the line of scrimmage. Snap is low. Delgado across the middle, looking for Jamie again. Went back to the well once too often, and it was good coverage on the inside, and the pass is intercepted by the blue and silver.
The pass is intercepted.
And who else would it be?
Mosquito Carter, wasn't it?
It is. This time Messiah Felder with the INT. And the ball goes back the way of Sapulpa.
Wow.
It'll be first and 10 for Sapulpa, this time from their own 43-yard line. Something that, Nick, of late, the Chieftains have not been used to starting this far up.
Yeah, they've been starting in rougher territory for the most part.
So now it'll be Braddock's Broughton, a 2-year starter at quarterback. He'll bring the offense on the field. His running back will be Levi Jensen, who's about a half step behind him to the left. Hand the ball off to Jensen, cuts back to his left at the line of scrimmage and powers his way upfield for about 4 yards. Maybe, depending on the spot, from the 43 to the 47. Ruffers here tonight in Sapulpa will wrap up the 25 campaign regular season at home next week against Putnam City North.
Sapulpa just kind of taking their time.
No need to be in any hurry.
Nope.
Ruffers almost jumping offside. And see, there's the lean inside that I was talking about a moment ago. The Sapulpa defender leaned in, but apparently never broke that imaginary line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
But the 5-yard penalty will make it now at, what, a 2nd and 1?
Offside is the
Yeah, moves it down to the 48 of the Ruffers.
And you have to go to the 47 to move the chains.
48-yard line, 2nd down, 1.
Defense just wanting too hard to make something happen. You've got to hold your ground. High snap, hand the ball off, trying to come to the corner. This again is Bennett. He races around the edge before he's finally shoved out of bounds down around the 35-yard line.
On the carry.
The line of scrimmage had been the 48, so it'll be a 13-yard gallop for Levi Bennett and another 1st and 10 for the Chieftains at the Ruffer 35-yard line.
A gain of 13. 1st and 10, Chieftains.
And
tired group of defensive players on the field right now for Muskogee.
That's the other thing. Sapulpa just eats up the clock and keeps the defense on the field. And now, like you say, the Ruffers have been out there an awful lot this game already.
Ruffers making a few personnel changes defensively. Broughton takes the snap at his knees. He tries to hand it off. The Ruffers get up the field, and this time they'll stop it for minus yardage. As getting first to the football that time was Trey Jackson. It was an errant snap that Broughton was able to secure. He hands it off to Jensen, but the minus yards tackle for loss will be back upfield at the 41, so that'll be a loss of 6. And he also went out of bounds to stop the clock with 7:47 to play here in the third. And actually, I guess he didn't get stopped in bounds, or he got stopped in bounds, and now they'll make it a 2nd and 17, and the clock will continue to run. Broughton this time out of the pistol. He'll take the snap back around the 46 with good protection. Waite just going to heave it up deep, looking for Barber again. And the Ruffers try to defend it, and it's incomplete.
Ruffers.
Now, at the last minute, the Ruffer defensive back, Avon Goodland, did turn his head. Sapulpa fans and sideline were screaming for pass interference.
I'm not so sure they didn't deserve it, quite frankly, because he was in the face of the receiver.
Incomplete pass brings up a 3rd and long for the Chieftains, as they've got to go to the 25-yard line in Ruffer territory. That incomplete forward pass stopped the clock with 7:13 left here in the third 12-minute period. Curran is in the inside slot here on the left. He's just going to sprint, dead sprint across the middle, cuts in front of the defender, and the pass is too tall. Ruffers had double coverage that time on Curran. The pass from Broughton was incomplete, and it'll be a 4th and long, and the Chieftains will call on their punter, Sequoia Hall, to come and try to pin the Ruffers deep.
Well, the incompletion stops the clock, so still a good amount of time left. If the Ruffers can capitalize here, they get the ball back now and see if they can find another long pass play possibly.
On the season, Sequoia Hall, the 6', 205-pound senior punter, averaging just a tick under 38 yards per boot. Gets the snap. Ruffers come with pressure and get to him. And there's going to be a running into the kicker call against Muskogee as Decaden Ford fields it downfield around the 12. There was a lot of. They're going to call this one personal foul. Yeah, it's going to be the major 15-yard variety. Oh, wow. So you know what does that carry an automatic first down? I think it does.
It does, I think so, yeah.
It will be a 1st and 10. And they'll walk off 15 yards to the preceding spot. So that'll move it from the 41 to the 26. It would have been a yard short, but because the personal foul roughing the kicker call, Sapulpa will keep the football. When you gamble, Nick, you got to do something to try to change the momentum. Referee emphatically signaling to the PA announcer and to the sidelines to get the chains moved. Rick Boswell is the lead referee tonight.
8th penalty against the Ruffers for 60 yards.
Tried to use the special teams to change the ebb and flow, and it backfired. So now Broughton will take it. He'll pull it. He'll throw it underneath. Catch is made by Barber. He'll run over a tackler and then be dragged to the ground at about the 12. From the 26 to the 12, that's 4 yards. 14 rather, yeah. Put a single digit in front. My granddaughters would tell me, Papa, hold up that one finger. If those other 4, you'll get the right call. 6:37, the clock running here in the third. Sapulpa, after a roughing the kicker penalty, able to extend their drive that began at the own 43-yard line. Now a 1st and 10 from the 12. Broughton's going to give it to Jensen. He tries to come off block. Oh, wow. Look at the blocking here on the near side. The rougher defender just getting shoved out of bounds, and actually I felt like was being held. As trying to make a play that time was linebacker Trey Jackson.
And he was being held.
Yeah, up around the jersey. It looked like there was 2 hands grabbing white jerseys. And, yeah, I think we finally see a little pink laundry loitering the turf.
23-yard line, it'll be 1st down 20.
So they'll walk it off of a 10-yard variety from back at the 12. Put it back up at the 22. I was beginning to wonder, think my eyes were deceiving me, Nick.
All right.
So can a penalty flag thwart another scoring drive for the Chieftains? Well, little play action. Broughton's going to throw it up for grabs this time. And the Roughers get down there. They fight Trey Curran for the football.
He caught
made
it anyway.
The catch.
Yeah.
It's going to be either a pass interference call or a touchdown. I haven't seen any hands extended yet.
Neither.
It is a touchdown.
All
They'll
right.
give Curran credit for the catch. He fought off the coverage of Decaden Ford. And Sapulpa has added yet another 6 points to their side of the ledger on a 22-yard touchdown pass. Broughton to Barber again.
Their third score here of the third quarter.
48-16. And Jack Madden is trying to go 7 for 7.
57-yard drive by the Chieftains.
Aided by a penalty. Chieftains have just taken the rabbit's foot and made it work. Roughers come off the PAT rush, but it's not quick enough, and the extra point will count. 49-16. It's been all Chieftains in this 71st meeting between the two squads here tonight in Sapulpa. 49-16. Roughers will have the football after the timeout. We'll do the same when we return on Rougher Football 2025.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Nick, I mentioned in the pregame the comments of the sports writer from the Tulsa World, Bill Hastings, yesterday while on part of the segment with Kate McFarland on the Sports Animal, that he really didn't see any reason to come to this game because Sapulpa would wipe up the field with the Roughers. Well, Bill Hastings, maybe you were right. I hate to say that, but there was a penalty flag thrown.
I guess the pass interference call,
there may
maybe?
have been a personal foul, I think, tacked on. So it'll be assessed on the kickoff. Now, if you're Sapulpa and you're really trying to throw salt in the wound, Nick, do you go onside? Bill Hastings, I got to give it up to you, my man. You were right.
9th penalty for 75 yards.
Not that I've thrown in the flag yet, Nick. I'm not going to jump the ship yet, but, boy, this was hard to think about a come-from-behind effort. 49-16, 6:01 to play here in the third quarter. It was 28-9 at halftime, if I'm right. Yeah. Here's the kick. Man, high kick. The Roughers field it. And should have maybe just let that one go back into the end zone on a return. A determined effort. This time, that's Rashawn Puckett.
Oh, okay.
Demarion Berryman.
No, you were right. It was Berryman.
Gets to the, 10? Is that 10 or 11? So the referees are going to start in the hole here.
You're kind of one of those danged if you do, danged if you don't situations here, Nick, because that high pooch kick, you don't know which way that ball's going to bounce if you let it hit and gamble that it would roll into the end zone for a touchback. So now Muskogee will start at its own 11. But after being down 28-9 at halftime, they're now down 49-16. 3 scores for the Chieftains, 1 for the Ruffers, Nick, in the first just under 6 minutes of the third quarter.
Wow, yeah.
There have been some fireworks here tonight in Sapulpa. Now the referee is going to come over, and I don't know what he's going to try to explain.
Having a conference there, trying to spot the ball. I don't know what the deal is here.
The referee tonight, Rick Boswell, is going to come over and talk with the sideline, and there may be some efforts to communicate the clock.
Well, the assistant coaches are...
Yeah, not quite sure what the circumstances are, but nevertheless, Ruffers will have the football when we get back to action, starting from their own 11-yard line. Ruffer football this season brought to you in part by Excel Physical Therapy, where their aim is to get you back in the game. Now an empty backfield. 2 receivers wide either side. Bring motion in front of the quarterback. Just going to call his own number straight ahead. Delgado will try to find some yardage. He'll get from the 11 to the 14, a 3-yard pickup. Ruffers that time in that series have Anthony Macnack in at a receiver position.
Second down.
Caden Ford will sprint off, and they'll bring in Jamie Beasley will be the single receiver out on the far left side. I guess that was Goodland that went off, and it's Ford and Macnack to the left. Snap is back. Delgado, time to throw. Back to Beasley. Makes the catch, and then it's pushed out of bounds at about the 18-yard line.
Yeah.
Only a 4-yard pickup. It'll be third down. Clock did stop as Jamie got out of bounds with 5:09 left here in quarter number 3.
The ball is on the Muskogee 19-yard
49-16, Nick. I'm thinking this is 4-down territory.
I'm not sure that Dale Connett's that brave.
Ruffers with a running back, this time to the right of Delgado. Kaysen, play action, throw it out in space, and just short-armed it. Trying to pass it to Jamie in a hurry and just didn't follow through. Pass will skip off the turf. It'll be 4th down, and you're right. Here comes the punting unit.
Yeah. So just you got to wonder what the emotion is on that Ruffer sideline.
Not a lot.
Shell-shocked, I think is maybe the way to describe it.
Might be the best way. Zevelin Ballalong will be on to punt. Z on the season averaging just a shade under 35 yards per kick. Snap is back. Kicks kind of a tight spiraling kick. It'll tumble end over end over end. So Papa's going to run up, pick it up. Oh, no, they're just going to fall on top of it. That surprised me a bit. As Carter Mosquito lets it roll and roll and roll to the last possible minute, and then he just falls over on it.
I think he was showing off a little bit myself there.
47-yard line in Chieftain territory where Sapulpa will start 1st and 10. 4:53 remaining here in the third quarter. What was a first half that went so fast, elongated by an extra halftime celebration, has become a very long third quarter.
I think we're going to see a lot of handing off to Bennett and Koch and those guys in the backfield.
Broughton this time will hand off as the running back comes up the field. That again is Levi Bennett, or Jensen rather. Jensen, one of those guys that's been a 2-year starter. I think he was a Vibe Top 100 pick, had 725 yards rushing, and it's a part of a 3-headed rushing attack a year ago, in which the Chieftains went 5-7 last season. Not only is he a good football player, Nick, he's excellent in the classroom. Got a 4.0 GPA. Now Broughton, a 2-year starter, will flip the tight end over from right to left, or from left to right, rather. The play-action series, Ruffers stunt the middle and guess right, and Jensen will go down behind the line of scrimmage again.
So Sapulpa not doing anything fancy here, yeah.
45-yard line. Jensen will come out, and coming back in will be Deshaun Kosh. Destin Martin credited with the stop for the Muskogee Ruffers.
So now let's see if the Chieftains will go to the air here on third.
Ruffers making some personnel changes and didn't have the right 11-man unit out there, and Travis Bryan will ask the referee for a defensive timeout. We'll do the same with 3:42 left here in the third. It's been all Chieftains, 49-16 over the Ruffers. Back in 30 seconds on Ruffer Football 2025. Proudly serving the elderly of the Muskogee community, Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center is a skilled nursing facility empowering better living through long-term care as well as many other respite care options. And coming soon to Broadway, the Memory Care Unit. At Broadway Care Rehabilitation, the amazing therapy department can help you or your loved one get back on their feet. Contracted with most major insurances, follow them on Facebook and see many of the enriching activities offered to the residents. Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center, proud to support the Muskogee Ruffers. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton here with you on this week number 9 of Muskogee Ruffer football on the road. Sapulpa looking to win for only the second time in the last 8 meetings. Overall, this being the 71st encounter between the two schools, a series that dates all the way back to 1914. Nick, I'm going to test your trivia knowledge.
I wasn't there in 1914 when they played.
I thought you might have been.
You asked me.
You and Charlie Kreischer, the Silver Fox, were there. 3rd and 12. Snap back to Broughton. He's got good protection. He rolls to his left, looks to throw upfield on the boundary. Ruffers are there, but over the top. What an effort by the defender, Michael Bennett, the receiver.
Bennett, yeah.
I mean, he's defender turned receiver. He's being double teamed out on the edge.
Oh, man.
Ace Cherry was out there along with Barnowski, and Bennett comes up with an outstanding play. He makes the catch at the 22-yard line.
28 yards, wow.
And it's 1st and 10 Chieftains. Yeah, I think you and the Silver Fox were there. First matchup was back in 1914. 32-7 was the final score. Ruffers with the win. The question I got for you after this play. Broughton this time going to wait, going to hand it off, give it back to the playmaking Bennett. He'll twist his way inside the 20 down to the 18. Okay, Nick, here's your trivial question of the night.
Yeah.
Who was the Muskogee Ruffer that in that 32-7 win over the Chieftains scored 3 touchdowns?
And what year was that?
1914.
Well, that's before all the heavyweights came in the 50s. So
yeah, just a few years.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm going to tell you, it's something they serve in the morning for breakfast with gravy.
Biscuits.
Biscuit Malone.
Biscuit Malone. Oh,
what a name.
Yeah, all right.
2nd and 6, hand the ball off. This is Koch just running with a head of steam downfield, powering over would-be tired defenders, taking it all the way down to the 11-yard line. He gets 11 yards on the carry, and it's a Sapulpa 1st down and 10. Yeah, Biscuit Malone. Give Tommy Cobb a little pat on the back for that Trivial Pursuit nugget. A minute 55 and the clock running. Chieftains trying to put a little more icing on the cake. As Koch will line up to the left of the quarterback, Braxton Broughton. Claps his hands on a high snap, waits on the cross. Koch just showing that leg strength to maintain his footing. He'll get about a 1-yard pickup.
Carry stopped by Destin Martin.
Now Koch will come out and Jensen will come back in. Destin Martin, the Ruffer, credited with that defensive takeaway.
Clock continues to run. Sapulpa just kind of taking their time.
Still with a minute 13 and counting here in the 3rd quarter. We've got 12 minutes remaining after that. Broughton with a running back, Jensen to his left. Little delay, going to throw it in space. This was tipped away. Nice play that time by the freshman, Cruz Delgado. He read the pass. He gambled, Nick, and he made the play. If he doesn't and Barber catches it, he walks in to score. But Cruz taking the gamble, showing his determined that he's going to make a difference, and he did there, knocking the pass to the turf. It'll be third down.
Didn't come far from being able to intercept that.
Boy, that's right. And Cruz got a little pep in his step as well. Sure would have been nice to see if he could have run to the house on the other end. As it stands, third down and 9. Broughton will take a snap. He'll give it off. Ruffers break the line of scrimmage, get in for the tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and the guy that got there to smother that one is Cole McQueen, the linebacker.
Lost back to the 14.
So now it'll be fourth down and 13 yards to go. And looks like here they'll call on the specialty unit and perhaps bring on a field goal unit. Will they send on Jack Madden? Nope.
See him out there.
So it's feast or feathers for the Chieftains. Curran is along with Stone here on the near side. Twins are out to the opposite side now, motion across the set. Broughton with the snap, throws it underneath. This one is almost picked off as the Ruffers had triple coverage that time. And the guy that dropped back in the play to make it on the knockdown was Destin Martin again. So Muskogee will hold on fourth down. They'll take over first and 10 at their own 14-yard line with 1:33 left here in quarter number 3. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton with you. Don't forget, next Friday night, Muskogee's class of seniors will celebrate their own senior night. Be a long series of celebratory moments for members of the Spirit Squads, along with the managers and the football players, the Junior Air Force ROTC. So come early and celebrate the accomplishments of this senior class. 20 personnel, running backs either side of Delgado. They'll hand it off to Chapman going to his left. Chap across the 15, the 20. Second effort's going to get him out to the 23-yard line. He'll be about a yard shy of the line to gain. A 9-yard pickup for Marquise Chaplin, who was our get-to-know Muskogee Ruffer on the night.
That's the end of the third quarter.
And the final seconds have expired, and we've got 12 minutes left to go in this nightmare in Sapulpa. 49-16 Chieftains. From start to finish, it's been blue and silver at the control of the Muskogee Ruffers. We're back in 30 seconds for more Ruffer Football 2025.
Have you been injured as the result of a car accident? Has your family been impacted by the death of a loved one caused by someone else's negligence? Whatever you're dealing with, you don't have to face it alone. At 222 Injury Lawyers, our dedicated personal injury attorneys are here to fight for the justice and compensation you deserve. Call 918-528-0222.
12 minutes left tonight here at Harv Collins Stadium, and the final verdict all but delivered by the judge and jury. Ruffers trailing Sapulpa with 12 minutes left to go, 49-16. Nick, it was 28-9 at halftime. What can the Ruffers do in this final 12 minutes of action except maybe to find some grit as they prepare for their regular season finale next week?
6-8-2 Putnam City, after trailing Southmore most of the game, has come back to lead 38-25 late in that contest.
So with 12 minutes to go tonight here in Sapulpa, the Chieftains, who in their last victory over the Ruffers got it with the benefit of a blocked PAT for the win, 49-48. Now just have to play pretty solid defense. They're playing more than nickel coverage. Here's the snap back to Delgado. Steps up in the pocket, throws up underneath, and threw that one in the trio of coverage. And it's picked off, run down from behind with the football. Ruffers trying to chase the intercepting Chieftain down. But there on the INT, guess who? Dawson Godlin. Whistles are sounding. I don't know if we had perhaps a penalty on the play.
Third interception of the night.
The INT in the return brought the ball down to around the 10-yard line, but there is a penalty flag. Holding call is going to be the side call. I don't know if that's on the return, I'm assuming.
Block in the back against.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So it's after the change of possession. And from the spot of that foul, that pass interception will give the ball back to Sapulpa at the Muskogee 35-yard line. That's the third INT of the night against Case and Delgado.
Yep.
And on the season, Nick, that's his 11th with 15 touchdowns through the year, to his credit. Not the type of percentages you want. Broughton this time going to hand off, and Kyron Cope says, we got 12 minutes left to go. I'm going to prove that I've still got something in my tank, as he'll smother the running back. Levi Jensen again behind the line of scrimmage, another tackle for loss. Back at the 39-yard line.
Sapulpa's kind of going through the motions now on offense for the most part. They're not really blocking real hard, and the Roughers are really penetrating.
Well, that offensive line, Nick, it's not a small group. I mean, they come in averaging 279 per man. They've been out there a whole lot. They might be getting a little bit gassed. Here's the play action. Broughton pulled it, and at the last minute throws it. And that's either a tackle, or are they going to call this an incomplete forward pass? There's nobody in the area.
That's got to be grounding.
And he's in the pocket.
There wasn't anywhere any close.
I mean, he was going to the turf. Now the officials will confer to see if there was a receiver in the area. The three guys wearing the stripes, and now they pull the pink flag out. Is he going to drop it?
Yes.
Yeah, he does. All right. So that'll be an intentional grounding call against the quarterback, Braxton Broughton. That'll be walked off in the preceding spot, which was the 39.
Yep.
Bring it back across midfield, should.
And that loses the down as well.
It'll be at the 46-yard line. Clock stops with 11:02 left to play.
With the penalty, the ball goes back to the Sapulpa 46-yard line.
And
Neil Huddleston, Nick Hampton with you on this Friday night, week number 9.
That's the 7th penalty against Sapulpa tonight.
Deshaun Koch back in at running back. Broughton will turn. He'll hand it off to the Bull, coming with a head of steam at the 45. The steamrolls tacklers downfield.
He just rolled right over Cruz Delgado time.
Credit the young freshman for no fear of contact, but man, he got hammered.
So they spot him out of bounds at the 41.
So he gets back the yardage lost on the penalty, plus about, no, he didn't. He got 13 of the yards lost on the penalty. So it'll be 4th down, and have to go from the 41 down to the 25, so it's 4th and 16. Chieftains just have a lot of fun, Nick. They're going to go for this. Trio of receivers, Broughton with the play clock down to 2, now down to 1, and
hello.
Well, they reset the play clock, Nick. The play clock reset.
Now the official throws the flag.
And that'll be, I think we're going to also get a sideline warning against the Chieftains. But, I mean, the play clock went all the way to 0. And then it suddenly reset.
And there's 2 flags down. Are they both
delay
the same?
of game is going to be the call, yeah. Now the second one is a sideline warning because more than one of the coaches of the Sapulpa staff was beyond the limited area of discussion. And the referee will come over and tell Tim Holt exactly what that call was about.
And Tim Holt will now change his mind and punt the ball.
So the walk-off of 5 yards will put it back at the 46-yard line. And who will be back deep for the Roughers? Is that Demarion Berryman? It looks like. On the punt will be Sequoia Hall. Good snap. Strong high kick. Berryman tried to field it and the ball hits. And boy, if that's not it's a touchback. He never touched the football, And cut just planted, and there is pink.
But they are. They'd throw a flag on that.
So that'll be.
Didn't give him room to catch the ball, basically.
Boy, he just destroyed the return man, Berryman. And the official there at the goal line with the return player from Muskogee quickly tossed his pink hanky.
Sapulpa's play has really gotten kind of chippy, and
so it should be a touchback plus 15, which would put the ball at the 35-yard line. Now we'll see how this will all be settled.
Now the referee goes over
pass catch interference.
Talk to Dale Condon about it.
Special teams coach Jason Pirtle.
Well, the Roughers are moving.
Well, what they're going to do, Nick, is they're going to walk the penalty off from where the foul occurred.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't do much good. It's going to put it at the 21 instead of the 20. Wow. Okay. Clock shows 10:39 left in this Excedrin headache number 9.
Just Sapulpa's play has just gotten really sloppy here in the last few minutes.
Interference, against Sapulpa. Now, my question is, do you not have the option of saying kick it again and move it back 15 yards from where it was?
I don't know that.
I'm not up to speed on the rules. Can we phone a friend? That's what the Roughers want to do here.
Let's call our guy in Los Angeles and ask him.
So 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Delgado will pull a high snap out of the air. He'll hand it off. Chaplin darting right. He's out across the 25 to out near the 27-yard line. About a 6-yard pickup for the Muskogee senior. Marquise Chaplin, a 5'10", 185-pounder. Here's a young man, Nick, and Marquise Chaplin. He was on our coaches show earlier this week, which I have to say was one of the more comical 30 minutes I've ever participated in, with Don Mays and Anthony Magnac filling in for Dale Condon. Here's a guy who's waited his turn. I mean, he played behind running backs the last 2 years.
Right.
Thought he was going to get a good shot last year before P.J. Wallace came in, but he's ready to go here tonight. Pass out in space, caught, or actually dropped by Beasley as he goes through his hands.
Pass was intended for Jamie Beasley.
That'll stop the clock with 9:55 left.
3rd down, 3.
3rd and 3 or 4 for the Roughers here.
Chaplin had got from the 21 to the 28, I guess, on the first down carry. So 7 for Chap, but the incomplete pass makes it 3rd down. Beasley will come out wide to the left. Ford and James, that's Nunu out of the numbers, and DK inside. Snap is back, hand it off inside, no, pull it out, throw it back for Beasley on the boundary. He tips it up, but he couldn't control it in the field of play.
Good try, though, by Bees. Good concentration just to catch the ball, but couldn't stay in bounds.
He almost had what you could say was triple coverage, did he not?
Yeah.
As over there for the Chieftains was Messiah Felder along with Dawson Godlin. Think they don't respect the Roughers' primary target? So the incomplete pass after a gain of 7 on first down will force a 4th down. And it'll be another punting situation for the green and white. Ball along will be on to kick it here.
11 of 26 passing for Delgado tonight.
Chieftains do put one man back, but they're also thinking like me, maybe there's something in the bag of tricks here. And a late whistle sounds. Was that illegal procedure or offside?
Delay of game.
Okay, so the clock expires here, and that'll move it back 5 yards. And that takes away any gamble of a trickeration.
11th flag of the night against the Roughers.
That's how it all started, too, wasn't it? This night all got started with untimely penalties, and then it went downhill from there. 49-16, here's the snap back to Z, and this time they're going to say the ball was, oh, wait a minute, you're going to say he fell down or was blocked into the kicker? Wow. A Rougher sideline really executing, and Dale Condon's actually taking the hat off. He's really incensed that his kicker got destroyed, but the referee says no, he was blocked into the kicker. Condit is really hot with the referee, and there's an unsportsmanlike conduct flag coming against the Ruffer coach. But in his defense, Nick, I'm going to say that he's got plenty of case to argue here. Ballalong just got destroyed, but the referee says that the Chieftains were blocked into the kicker. Not from my vantage point here, Nick. And like we've said, things have gotten a little bit sloppy here in this fourth quarter, and we still got 9.5 minutes to go here on Halloween night. 49-16, it'll be a 15-yard walk-off against the Ruffers from the end of the punt, which hit and rolled its way to the 43-yard line in Chieftain territory. It's one of those situations you wish you had instant replay, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
You do. It just can't be evaluated here.
I think they called a sideline warning.
Well, that
on
was
the
a generous situation because Dale wasn't quoting scripture, let me tell you, in his distaste for the officials situation. Now, Broughton, I think, is asking the referee, are you sure you didn't have a 15-yard penalty there?
So the Chieftains will have it at their own 43, 1st and 10.
Clock will start on the snap of the football. Chieftains will flip side to side, and now there's a procedure, illegal false start against the Chieftains. So what had been a successful night for the Chieftains, not drawing too many flags, Nick, has gotten a little bit loosey-goosey.
Sloppy is the word I'd like to use. Thank
Ugly.
you. 10th penalty against the Chieftains.
I'm reminded of the cheerleaders in the motion picture Wildcats. Okay. U-G-L-Y, you ugly. Your mama says you ugly. Yeah. 1st and 15. Broughton this time going to hand it off. Running back coming to the left side. That is Michael Bennett.
Michael Bennett on the carry.
Taken down on the play by the Ruffers defensively.
Made by number 56.
Making the tackle for the Ruffers that time was Hayden Von Holt, the 6'4", 255-pound senior defensive lineman who goes both ways.
9 carries for 86 yards tonight for Bennett.
A lot of numbers for the Chieftains tonight, not only on the scoreboard, but statistically as well. Clock running with 8:55 to play here tonight from Harv Collins Stadium. Now twin receivers out to the boundary on the wide side left. Broughton will take the snap. He'll hand it off, and this time the Ruffers have the Chieftain running back in their grasp. They'll stop him after about a yard pickup upfield to the 42. So it'll be 3rd down and 11. And here comes the strong and determined Deshaun Koch. I asked former Coweta coach, now Sapulpa head coach Tim Holt, how do you pronounce K-O-C-H? He goes, I don't know. He said, I've heard it many different ways. I say Koch because of the German descent of Deshaun's mom. Here, standing in the pocket is Broughton. Waits, looks to scramble, and then just airmails it out. He did have Curran in the vicinity. The pass incomplete will stop the clock with 7:54 to go here in quarter number 4.
A little surprised, though, that play call to pass the ball instead of run it and then let the clock run some more.
So that'll bring up a 4th down and 11, and it stops the clock with the incomplete pass. And Sequoia Hall will be on to punt for what, the 3rd time tonight?
That's right, yeah.
Berryman is the man back deep. He got destroyed a moment ago. And all it was catch interference. Here's a snap back to Hall. Kicks away. Berryman's just going to let it hit. It'll bound, roll inside the 5. Chieftains chase it, but couldn't get to it. He goes into the end zone on the touchback, and Muskogee will start 1st and 10 from its own 20-yard line. Next Friday night, back at Ruffer Village. We hope you'll be there for all the pregame ceremonies as we celebrate senior night. Talking with Director of Athletics Jim Platter. There's 50 students amongst all the different organizations, Nick, that will be recognized between the band and the dance team, the flag corps, along with the cheerleaders, the pom squad, the junior Air Force ROTC, football players and managers, as well as our live stream crew that'll be celebrated. Our live stream kids do one heck of a job. 7:40 to play here in tonight's contest. Ruffers with a little late substitution. It's Anthony Heights going to come in along with.
Oh, man.
There's a high snap, and the Ruffers will just have to go back, and Delgado's got to be saying, why me? He's got to feel like Chris Christopherson, doesn't he?
Yeah.
High snap. Case will go back and fall on it back at the 7.
Delgado falls on the loose ball.
So it's a big loss of 13 yards.
Second down, 23.
Fortunately, on that play, Nick, though, the clock does continue to run tonight here at Harv Collins Stadium. Haven't been too many nights like this, Nick, in the last 4 or 5 years.
No, there haven't.
And I hope it's a long time before we have another one.
And this one was very unexpected.
Hand off to Heights, dancing to his right, and then trying to cut back to the left, and he'll get a couple of yards from the 7 upfield to the 9. One of my very first trips to Sapulpa was a ball game like this.
20.
Clock continued to run. Now at 6:40 and moving down.
A lot of new numbers in for the Chieftains as well. As Delgado facing now 3rd down and a country mile. Has to go all the way to the 30. Cason's going to hand it off. The Ruffers just going to play it close to the vest. As Chaplin will get the carry, he'll push the pile across the 10 to the 11. Camden George in on the stop for Sapulpa, and the Ruffers will face a punting situation. Now, we'll wait and see how Zevelin Ballalong will attempt this kick after last time just getting destroyed. He'll stand about 3 yards deep to wait the snap from Caden Harkin. Really don't still understand that blocked into the kicker call a moment ago. Chieftains come with pressure, a little quick kick and a nice boot. Fielded up, fielded about the 47. Chieftains trying to get to the corner on the edge. Ruffers have it surrounded. They'll change and come back to the near side, trying to pick up blockers, and Muskogee will finally chase down Carter Mosquito. The way he goes from left to right, changes on a dime, Nick, kind of reminds you of that little mosquito
yeah.
I'm always trying to swat. And I look around, and I don't have any bias to show for it, but the wife does. They like her. Maybe that's why they call her Honey.
She's sweet.
Yeah. That's why her granddaughters affectionately call her Honey. They just look at me and say, Papa, want some chips. 5:24 left. Got to look for something to laugh about here tonight. 49-16 Chieftains. And will we see a new quarterback for the...
No, still Broughton out there. I'm surprised at
I
that.
am too. I thought we might see something of Trayson Shaw, the young freshman.
Yeah.
Broughton will remain the quarterback, and Koch will line up to his right. They'll hand it off to the senior coming to his right, and he's going to be grabbed around the knees by Hayden Von Holt.
Going to lose a yard.
Going to lose a yard back upfield to the 37, but keep the clock running with 5:10 to play tonight here in Sapulpa. Chieftain's very first possession could have been a 3-and-out, but a pass interference penalty kept it alive, and then moments later, the big pass play. And from that point on, it went straight downhill.
Yeah. 2 offside penalties
Yep.
against the Ruffers on that
in that same series. You're right. So 3 pink hankies resulted in a unneeded 6 points, and the party began for the Chieftains. Broughton this time going to hand it off, weaving his way through would-be tacklers for yardage. This time, who was it?
Looks like
that's Darian Washington, a 5'10", 185-pound junior, the running back. JoJo in on the stop.
7 yards gained by Washington on his first carry of the
That
night.
tackle by JoJo, Nick, another young man that has just continued to develop, continued to mature. He played as a freshman, played as a sophomore, just trying time to be a leader amongst this football team here in 2025. He's not afraid to put you in your place either. 3:50 to go here in the fourth. Chieftains on a 3rd and about 6. Fumbled snap picked up by the quarterback, which is Braddock's Broughton. And he'll get to the 30, the line of scrimmage.
So no gain.
And it'll be 4th down and still about 4 yards needed for the Chieftains.
So I'm sure they'll just eat up some more time on the clock here and go for it, see what happens on 4th down.
Glad to have the support of our sponsors, Alpine Medical, Roughneck Roofing, I-40 Sports and Awards, Serpro, Nissan of Muskogee, Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law, Dr. Kimberly DeRosset, Doctor of Optometry. Here's Broughton on a 4th and 4 situation. Going to hand it off to Washington, coming right with a head of steam. He's got the 1st down with a yardage spare. Or did they mark him short? He had to go to the 26.
Looks like they got him at the 25.
So they're going to mark it at the 25. Okay, so it'll be 1st and 10 Chieftains. You watch the commercials that play. You listen to those, Nick, throughout the year. And sometimes people say, why do you play so many commercials, Bill? Well, the reason we do that is because these participating sponsors are willing to support Rougher football in 2025. Because the proceeds of our broadcast, Nick, and the sponsorships go to support not just football, but they support all athletic teams at Muskogee High School. The athletic funding for golf, tennis, track, baseball, softball, wrestling, as well as basketball. Yep, tennis. 1st down handoff. This is Washington darting out on the edge to his left. And he'll get down inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. When are they going to mark this?
Looks like we have a hold against Sapulpa.
Holding's going to be the call against the Chieftains. But yes, all of our participating sponsors here at Rougher Football, and I would be sadly mistaken if I didn't keep talking about these people's generosity, Nick, because year after year, you and I work in the community to help raise funds through the quarterback club, and then I also take part of my time and efforts to help support the athletic department through our live stream. And these advertisers and these sponsors, they're equally as committed to the Rougher athletic programs, both for men as well as the women's sports. So the holding penalty will back it up and replay the down. It'll be
first
down and 14. Yes. Minute 55 and counting. Braddock's Broughton has gone the entire way. He's just letting the play clock. He's watching that clock in the south end zone. It's now down to 7, now down to 6. Broughton with Washington to his right. With 2 on the clock, will hand it off to Washington. He'll slam straight ahead and go inside the 28, down near the 27 for about a 2-yard pickup. And there'll be time for one more, maybe 2 more snaps in this nightmare for the Muskogee Roughers on Halloween night. But for Sapulpa Chieftains, it's going to give them what they have dreamed of, an opportunity to play for the district championship 1 week from tonight in the Highway 97 series against their bitter rivals, the Sandites of Sand Springs High School. Broughton will wait. It's 5 seconds, now 4, now 3, 2, and the clock goes to 0. And Sapulpa calls a timeout. We'll just keep it here, Dick. Like we were saying, with the victory here tonight, Sapulpa has going to turn the tables, Nick, going from 5-7 a year ago. They got into the playoffs as one of those second group of teams and finished the season 5-7, getting to the second round. Then this year, Nick, with the win here tonight, will improve to 7-2, and after a 1-2 start, they've won 6 games in a row. And they'll take on some Sand Springs and Bobby Klink's ball club 1 week from tonight at Memorial Stadium in Sand Springs. That matchup will be meeting number 100. You think there won't be a little bit of hype about that game next week?
Yeah. A couple of scores in 4A tonight. Cushing comes from behind after Fort Gibson took a lead, and they beat the Tigers 35-31. And a nice comeback tonight by Coach David Blevins and the Hilldale Hornets as they knock off Poto 36-22 and remain in the hunt for a playoff spot. So
speaking of comebacks, Putnam City came back to win, Nick, 38-25. U.S. Grant has an 8-point lead over Northwest Classen. Final score was Piedmont beating Stillwater.
Wow. Okay.
There's an upset for you.
Yep.
That'll shake the district standings in the other side of 6A2 football. Final score 17-14. And a snap back to Broughton. He'll take it. He'll kneel it down. 41 seconds left to go here tonight. Wow. How does that change the playoff picture in the other district?
Yep.
Because now Stillwater is at 5-1. Piedmont is at 5-1 with the upper hand, and now the Chieftains will begin their party. They'll just let the clock run down, and that's going to be the contest here tonight. And the Sandites and the Chieftains will play for the district title 1 week from tonight. The Ruffers will be at home against Putnam City North, looking to go 5-2 in league play and to secure at least the third place spot and have a opening week game at home against one of the teams out of the West. But tonight, in convincing fashion, Sapulpa picks up win number 7 on the season, 49-16 over the Muskogee Ruffers, who dropped to 4-5 on the year. Stay tuned. Our post-game coverage of Ruffer football continues tonight from Harv Collins Stadium. But first, this 3-minute timeout on Ruffer Football 2025.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
This land was a tapestry of Indian nations and tiny towns that grew into great cities. Bank First is loyal to the shared mission of growth and success that built Oklahoma. That's why in more than 50 communities statewide, our banks are run by local leaders who stick together and work hard to continue unlocking Oklahoma's great promise. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma, loyal to you.
At J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. Shop Silverados, Trailblazers, Colorados, and more. More new Chevys and top dollar for trade-in. 144 West Shawnee.
Ugh, my brother and sister left me again. They went back to school. Can you believe that?
But don't worry, they still call me every morning, thanks to their brand new phones from Bravado Wireless.
My sister even dropped hers in the pool. But Bravado's trade-in help has her covered.
And my brother, he's flexing with the new iPhone 16 Pro Max. Like, how cool is that?
Mom and Dad got deals too. Bravado's unlimited plan saved the whole family money.
At J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. Shop Silverados, Trailblazers, Colorados, and more. More new Chevys and top dollar for trade-in. 144 West Shawnee.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Brunt's Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts, Brunt's Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken, where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Brunt's Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Brunt's Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
Final score tonight here from Harp College Stadium in Sapulpa. A disappointing outcome for the Muskogee Roughers. A celebration for the Chieftains of Sapulpa, who, with the win on senior night, have set the stage for next Friday night's encounter against Sand Springs in the Highway 97 battle, and the bragging rights, not only in that rivalry, but also to be district champions. As Sapulpa, with the win, improves to 6-0 in league play. Sand Springs got the victory tonight over Putnam City North as expected. They're at 6-0. So those two teams will compete next Friday night for the district championship. Muskogee, now standing at 4-2, will be at home against PC North, who, with their loss tonight, drops to 2-4. That'll move Ponca City up into the 4 spot with a 3-3 record after their big win last night over Capitol Hill. Bartlesville at 2-4, Putnam City West at 1-5, and Capitol Hill so far winless on the season. So, Nick, it's a pretty clear playoff picture for the Muskogee Roughers. Wait and see who comes out of the other side. If you win next Friday night, you'll be 5-2. You'll be the third place team. If you lose, you're 4-3, and you'll be in a tie with Ponca City, but you have the head-to-head advantage in that matchup in a tie. So you would, I think, if I've got it all figured out right, and I'm not going to brag that I've got it all for sure, but I would think that the Roughers will be third no matter what, and they'll play at home then in the opening round of the playoffs, because in 6A2, 6 teams out of each district qualify for the postseason. Your first and your second place teams get a bye. The teams that finish third and fourth in each division will play at home. They'll play against teams from the opposite side, 5th and 6th place finishers. So as it stands right now, the Roughers with a third place finish next week would get the number 6 team coming out of the West, and that's more than likely going to be Northwest Classic. Because tonight Stillwater suffers its first district loss as they lose by 3 to Piedmont. So now the Pioneers, Piedmont, along with Putnam City, who rallied to get the win, are all at 5-1. Each team having beaten the other. Putnam City beat Piedmont. Check that back. Take that back. Yeah, Putnam City beat Piedmont. Piedmont beat Stillwater. Stillwater beat PCO. So you've got a 3-way battle for the district title. That can't be decided until next week, and we'll try to find out what those matchups were and talk about that on our Tuesday night coaching show. But from the Muskogee Roughers, it's not just go home knowing you're going to the postseason and know home that you would play at home in the week number 11 contest, Nick. What it means for the Muskogee Roughers is you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, how do we put this ship that was shipwrecked tonight here at Hard Collins Stadium all back together?
Really do. It was just everything went right for Sapulpa, and the Roughers just never, ever got going. Too many penalties, too many turnovers, and Sapulpa, it's not like I don't think the Roughers underestimated them. They may have a little bit, but the running game, Broughton did a great job passing when he needed to, and so kudos to the Sapulpa Chieftains. Let's look at the numbers. For the Roughers, 22 rushes tonight for only 52 yards. So that's a big point, and it has been all season, is establishing some kind of running game for Muskogee. 223 yards passing tonight for Cason Delgado, 11 of 26 with 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions this evening. 275 yards total offense for the Ruffers. That's a season low, I think. 1 fumble they lost, or a couple of fumbles they lost, and they had 11 penalties for 90 yards in the game. Chaplin, the leading ground gainer, 12 carries for 42 yards, and Beasley, 6 receptions for 194, 2 of those on big touchdown receptions for Bees tonight. For Sapulpa, they had 39 rushes for 188 yards. 227 yards passing tonight for Broughton, 9 of 20 passing for 1 interception and 4 touchdowns. So passing numbers for the 2 quarterbacks fairly similar. 415 yards in total offense tonight for Sapulpa. They didn't have any fumbles, had 11 penalties for 115 yards. Bennett, the leading ground gainer, 10 carries for 87 yards. And Barber, 5 receptions for 110 and a couple of touchdowns. So if you look at the numbers, the running game really the difference tonight in this ball game, plus all the errors Muskogee made.
49-16, the Ruffers with the setback fall to 4-2 in league play, 4-5 on the season, and will be looking to at least even up the season record next Friday night at home at Ruffer Village against Putnam City North. We're going to take our final timeout. When we come back, we'll try to restructure the playoff picture, and we'll also name our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game. That after this 2-minute timeout on Ruffer Football here in 2025.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Folks, Kyle Edwards, GMC in Muskogee. I was born and raised in Muskogee. Our family has owned the GMC dealership for over 50 years. We take great pride in being in the Muskogee community. Things have changed over the years, but one thing remains the same, our desire to take care of our customers. Looking for a new GMC truck or SUV? We've got them, and you have our commitment to give you the best buying experience around. From sales, parts, or service, we are here for you. You have my promise to give you the best selection, best price, and the most for your trade-in at 1600 North Main in Muskogee or KyleEdwardsGMC.com.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember? ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com. From Harv Collins Stadium, a disappointing finish for the Muskogee Ruffers, losing 49-16, Nick. Before we name our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game, let me set the playoff picture real quickly. Over in District 6A, 2-1. Next week, some big ball games. Stillwater against Southmore, Putnam City against Piedmont. Putnam City beats Piedmont, they're going to finish second. If Piedmont wins, no matter what Stillwater does, Piedmont would win the title. If Piedmont loses to Putnam City and Stillwater beats Southmore, Pioneers win it. So a lot of things still to be determined over there. Choctaw is going to be the fourth-place team. Muskogee is going to finish at either 4-2 or 4-3. They would be in a tie with Ponca City, given that Ponca City wins next week as expected. That means it would be the head-to-head matchup between the Wildcats and the Ruffers back in Game 1 of the district race. That would give the Ruffers the 3 spot. They would play the 6th-place team out of the West, which for the most part looks like right now would be Northwest Classen. That'll be on November the 14th, I believe.
Yep.
But for the Muskogee Ruffers, it's not about the playoffs. It's about finding a way to put all the pieces back together and beat Putnam City North next week and don't limp into the postseason.
That's right. Okay, let's talk about our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game. Really the only player tonight I thought that really had the pizzazz was Jamie Beasley. He had the 2 touchdown pass receptions, one for 99 yards, one for 62, and otherwise it was just kind of a dismal night for the Ruffers, so that's my pick.
I'm going to 100% agree with you and make this an easy selection tonight here from Sapulpa. But the hardest thing to say is the final score, 49-16, an overwhelming victory for the Chieftains, who will play Sand Springs, their arch rival, in the 100 meeting between the two schools next Friday night for the district championship of District 2 of 6A2 football. My thanks to our Ruffer TV crew. They do an outstanding job producing the sights and the sounds of tonight's ball game. And we thank you for joining us tonight here from Sapulpa. Not a good night for the green and white, but in victory or in defeat, it's always a great day to be a Muskogee Ruffer. Good night. We'll see you next Friday at Ruffer Village.